Hello, and welcome to Zaxria. We're back for another night at the Nuts Around Table. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in, make sure that you are following. Once we hit 100 followers, we are doing a giveaway for a copy of Xanathar's Guide to Everything. And if you're subscribing, you get put in a giveaway for a custom mini from Hero Forge. So be sure to do that. Also, be sure to check out the YouTube. There are a lot of the VODs all the way up till episode. I think we have it to 69 now.
Nice.
There's also some podcasts on there. Other D&D games, along with a cyberpunk adventure like Type 1 Shot that's on there, so check those out. And I think that's it. So, last we had left off, I put my tablet on the floor, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, you can probably scoot in a little bit.
You guys all split up in order to prepare for whatever it is you were going to do next, which the plan being waiting until the ships at Southbrook are ready to set sail in the Sea of Souls. Connor, you stayed in Arkanoria to study your spells, while Ander also stayed working on his alchemical knowledge with Gita. Azrael and Neris returned to the estate, while Zar, Jalonia, and Moldrak went to Yoldgard in order to get some answers about the axe head of Storm's Rage. You found out that the axe head was probably stolen sometime during the eradication by what you were told were fire giants. Where exactly you can find fire giants is a little unknown. Chelonia looked a little further into the orb that he has and gleaned that it is from the actual soul of the creature that he killed in the form of an orb now. But beyond that, though, there's not really too much that he knows. Azrael and Neris went back to the estate and discovered a break-in, along with a aftermath of some sort of a gathering or party that had occurred at the estate. Other than that, you guys arrived back from the Feywild, and when you returned from the Feywild, Neris now is no longer her kind of palish gray color all over. She's now this bright, vibrant orange. Her mood is a little bit more up and jovial as well. She's not as closed off as she usually is. And for now, as her and Azrael are back at the estate, is that where we're actually going to start off. So, Azrael, as you are sleeping, you feel the sun kind of on your arm a little bit, and it slightly starts to wake you up before the sun peeks in through the window and catches your eye, rousing you awake a bit. What would you like to do today? It is probably your best bet, like 10:30 in the morning. It's nice to be in a nice bed.
Go head downstairs and see if anything's going on.
Okay. Once you make your way downstairs, you can see that Neris is actually down there, and she seems to be picking up glass and other things to get ready to dispose of them. Wraith is also like taking his claws and like scraping up a bunch of stuff into piles that's all fallen and broken and thrown over. The central sanctuary area, where you kind of just immediately walk in and there's like that pond and a lot of vegetation and that sunroot light that comes in. Some of the plants are stumped and kind of cracked, like snapped over. There are glasses that are sitting on the ground within there, and you can see Neris is there right now kind of picking things up, and the house itself is still in some sort of a mess as she's like lifting up the cups.
I'm going to keep on fighting hard for my shit.
Good morning.
Morning. I reached down and pick up some trash.
The kitchen's pretty much all set. I took care of that when I woke up. I haven't got to the study yet, but this is pretty much all of the main floor that remains, and I haven't been in your shop at all, so I don't know what's what, but don't have much to do, so...
We'll head over to the estate, or not the estate, the keep.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright. Get myself something to drink, then we can head out if you're ready.
Sure, I'll be ready whenever. So you and Neris make your way over to the keep. It takes you less than, it's probably only like a good 4 hours of travel. Typically it takes you guys about 6 to 7 walking. But you're able to get there in pretty good time. Wraith's not like hauling ass flying, he's just taking a nice leisurely stroll through the air. And you can see the fields below. The weather outside right now as well. Getting into the season you're getting into is much more like a fall type of season. You can see that there is bits of the grass that are starting to not die, but they're just losing that lush green color that they normally have, and you can see the blades, instead of standing straight up, are now starting to curl over a bit. It's a bit more nippy outside. You feel yourself kind of bundling up here and there just due to the wind blowing in your face at this moment. You can see the keep in the distance has the gate down. People are walking in and out. The moat that is surrounding it has a bit of... It's lower than it normally is. It doesn't look like it's as high as it usually is with all of the water and such. The surroundings of the keep itself, there is, to the far side where there's that patch of trees that are occasionally kind of there, you can see the leaves upon them are starting to brown up a little bit and kind of lose that deep green color that they have, and you know that it's getting to be more of a fall season and weather's getting a little colder. It's not 80s anymore, and it's slowly been getting to 70s, and now it feels like it's probably like a crisp 60 degrees at this moment. But Daenerys flies right on over the wall and lands down into the central area of the keep. As she does, a few people take notice. Some of them instinctually jump back from the dragon landing down into the middle of the keep, but you can see that people are getting a little more used to seeing a dragon around, and the stories that are being spread about Wraith and Daenerys as well, being within the keepers, is a whole ordeal. So the responses aren't usually as dramatic as they once were. But she stands on the back of Wraith. I'm going to go over to the general goods really quick. What's the plan here?
I'm just gonna go have a word with the dean.
Oh, alright. Get some kitties in trouble.
Yes.
Right.
I guess I'll just meet you back out here.
Very well.
Make my way to the office.
Okay. Once you make your way inside of the keep, you can see Professor Fandel. I don't know if the two of you were ever formally introduced, but he is standing in the entryway. Seems to be taking in the breeze that's coming out. He has a chair that's set up, and there seems to be a small table that has what you can see some sort of a biscuit or something with a cup of a liquid that seems to be steaming.
Howdy.
Howdy indeed. How are you?
Could be better.
Something I can help you with, friend.
I was making my way to the dean's office.
All the way up. He should be in his office.
Yep. I should walk past.
Alright. Once you make your way in, it doesn't take you too much time before you get up to the top. The dean's office, the door is closed. You can see a couple of the other offices are as closed as well. And you notice that the keep itself didn't really seem super busy. There weren't a lot of people walking around. There's a normal people who are just kind of going about their day or cleaning around, or that live within the keep just due to the fact that they work here and such. But other than that, there weren't a lot of soldiers walking around or anything. It's not dead, but a lot less people in traffic than there normally is. 1 minute, please.
Scared the shit out of me. That's so skittish.
The door cracks open with a... Standing on the other side, you can see the dean. As well.
Hello.
Please, come in. A lot going on right now, but what can I help you with?
Seem to have a little bit of an issue at the estate.
Being what?
Well, whoever fine young gentleman you had keeping watch over it seemed to do a shitty job.
What happened?
Well, when I got there, I witnessed a robbery in the act. So apparently is being left unguarded.
Well, I do know that General Hawker pulled all of those troops back. Which I'm sorry, I was trying to correct it, but I must not have done it soon enough. As I said, there's a lot going on.
Well, it wasn't actually unguarded. There was at least one soldier there. I don't know if there's any more, but I found him passed out, drunk, lacking clothes in a tent outside.
Jeez.
Upon further inspection, I went inside and seen, much like the outside, the inside was very in shambles. Lots of broken things, stolen parts of the house. I'm pretty sure there's missing tools in my workshop. The sanctuary was desecrated a little bit. All our homunculi seem to be missing. When I approached the soldier, he mentioned something about a party.
Well, I will apologize on their behalf to start. I'm sorry that all of that happened. I can speak with Harker and see who it was that was supposed to be stationed there. As I said, though, he pulled them all back and out of there. Been dealing with a lot of... I don't really want to call it panic, but it seems that a lot of people are spreading rumors and saying such things about things that they're seeing. There's a lot going on.
Like the world coming to an end?
Not quite, but at least whispers of it. Things that could be some semblance of a meaning that the world's coming to an end. I'm not quite sure if...
Yeah, we're trying to deal with that, and it doesn't help when we come back to our estate being ransacked.
I understand. Just make a list and take account of everything that's missing, and I'll have it all sent there to be replaced. I'll have General Harker
tear out the paper from my notebook, throw it onto the table. So I was taking notes of everything last week.
Very well. I will handle that when I have the moment to. General Harker, I will speak with him as well and make sure that all of them are dealt with, taken care of appropriately. Is there anything else I can do for you? Again, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I would just maybe see if Harker can change the way he trains his men or something, because apparently they lack discipline.
Well,
I'll see it right in his face.
if you'd like to take it up with him, I'm sure you could. I promise you it won't go well. A lot of the people that are here now and that were actually guarding your estate were some of the newer recruits that really haven't had much training. It was just what we could spare. You know, we just figured we needed bodies over there, if anything. That was a lapse of judgment on my part, so I do apologize again. And I will try to correct it. Say in the meantime, if you have locks, use them. I just, there's not too much we can do right now. We've just sent out about probably 50 or so soldiers from here, and we're spread pretty thin.
Okay. Is Harker here?
He may be. He may have also gone to Grunswick. I'm not quite sure.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna head back then.
Alright, very well. If you do hear rumors, do your best to silence them, I guess. Give people some sort of sense of security and hope if you could. I just feel that there is something brewing and I'm trying my best to stop it before it happens.
Will do.
Alright. Good seeing you. I wish it was on better terms, but
Me too.
I do have a lot to do.
Likewise.
He sits down and starts sifting through some papers. A couple of them you see him sign really quickly, roll up, and then wax seal, and then sets them over to the side. You make your way out and close the door behind you. Before making your way all the way outside, You can see Neris is standing over towards the front gate. There are like 3 or so guards that are standing by her, and Wraith is there as well, and she's just kind of like leaned against him. The guards don't seem to be talking to her, but they're just kind of like glancing over every now and then. And then she just kind of walks over to where she's at the drawbridge at this point, just kind of there waiting.
Head over to the barracks.
Okay. Once you make your way over, you can see that the jail that is here seems to be in at least some sort of working order. The front, there's like these 2 iron gates that go into it. They seem to be locked, but then you can see at the top part, it's a very square building. The top part still seems to have a couple of workers at the top that are like laying down these huge bits of log that they're like pulling up all together with rope, and then they get it to the top and kind of set it down, and you can see them laying some sort of larger pieces of wood on top of it, like planks, and securing that down. The large stone that's there that's been kind of the focal point of the structure seems to be all put together, and they're not really messing with that much more. They're just putting like some sort of a base for possibly a floor or a roof or something. But you can see that there are 3 or so guards over here. 2 of them are standing at the front gate, and then one of them is just walking out of one of the barracks rooms. None of them that you recognize.
Say something to one that walks past me, or if I walk up to one.
Yeah, the one that's just kind of walking past seems to be adjusting his breastplate a little bit, pulling it up.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Where's Harker?
I'm not quite sure. Do you guys know where Harker is? General Harker. The one. I'm pretty sure I saw him on his horse a minute ago. Heading west, I believe. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. And then he just kind of points over to the other guy. What you need Harker for?
Need to have a word with him.
Oh, well. Yeah, he left this morning.
You going to Brunswick?
From what I was told, yes.
Right. I'll walk away.
Alrighty.
Head back to Neris.
So, are they all grounded or what?
Dean said he's going to take care of it, but Harker's not here.
Should have shot him.
He's should be on horseback to Brunswick right now, but I don't know if it's a good idea to just go flying on him while he's on his travels.
Yeah. Well, we do have stuff to do at the estate.
Yeah. Let's head back, I guess.
She kind of pats Wraith's chest, like, are you ready? Just the wings expand, and then you guys take off east. The sun at this point is getting ready to set, and then once you get back, it's pretty close to like late afternoon. It's probably like closer to 7 or so. Once you get back, you start to have to pick up here and there. The kitchen, as Nair said, was pretty much cleaned. The storage rooms are reorganized, I guess. Your little tinkering, your like workshop is the only room that really needs tending to. As Neris has in the morning cleaned up a good bit of the sanctuary along with the stuff that you guys picked up a little bit while you were both here. When you walk over towards the workshop, you can just pick up the couple of books or whatever that were knocked off the shelf and set those up, or readjust the chair and fix a couple of things to make everything a little bit tidy. Once you get into the workshop, it's still in the same state that you first saw it in. Tools are kind of thrown all over, there's stuff knocked on the ground, broken vials, glass on the floor. Neris walks in and just kind of hands you the broom, and then walks away to go do her own thing for a minute.
Clean it up so I can get to work tomorrow, I guess.
Alrighty, sounds good. As for Zargrax, Chalonia, and Moldrak there, you guys are just making your way back on the wings. So you guys got about 3 days or so before you're actually back to the estate. So it'll probably be like the 7th of Evereth once you return. And then back to Arcanoria. you've just been spending every day within the reprieve. It is quiet. A lot of people in there have the same kind of character, I guess. A lot of them are very quiet. They keep to themselves with their books, studying. You're easily able to get a room if need be. There's food every morning and every night for you to eat. The spell seems to be coming along pretty good, and you can tell just by like reading in the compendium about it and it being a quite powerful spell, I guess, that you know that the more you get up into these, that it could start to get quite dangerous. But the danger is also what keeps you cautious the whole time you're doing it. Like, you haven't been complacent with it. You take it very like cautious, like one step at a time, reading each word thoroughly, doing each step as prepared, not shorting yourself on any of the quality of ingredients or any sort of like things that you may need in order to be successful in learning them. And as for you, Ander, you have spent the next, are going to be spending at least the next few days inside of Potions Galore with Gita. So far, you've learned the basics about potions. They always require at least two things, one a base and one a catalyst. The base just being for your potion, for your healing potion, the base being the dried lichen, and then the second one being the wormflower petals. Using those two things with some river water, you're able to understand the reactions that can be caused with things just brief. There's just enough on a base level to understand, like, so in order for something to work, I need to have one thing that reacts with another, along with something else maybe thrown in the mix. But you're getting more of an understanding with it now than you had previously. But the first 2 days, Gita is just having you help her with you also have that moderate healing potion, remember, that you actually created. I think you wrote it down that you have one. But you were able to successfully make one while she made a superior healing potion, pretty much for you as well, as she's doing the order for you guys. But within the Potions Galore shop, after those first 3 days of you just helping her around the shop and doing things, she brings you over towards the table that you made the healing potion on, and kind of just gestures you over a bit, like, Ander, come over here. Teach you a couple more things if you don't mind.
Walk over.
Alright. So, you have learned how to create a healing potion in the very, very simple form of it. And like I said before, if you want to make it a little more stronger, you just use less lichen and more wormflower petals. I give you the little spoons to measure everything out. You can use those. But there are also other types of potions that can be made. Honestly, if you can find the right ingredients, you can pretty much achieve anything you need to with the potion. Is there anything specifically that you may want to try and make or learn to make?
It's a good question. I guess I did have like this invisibility potion for a really long time, and then like I just used it, and like I think maybe like another one would be cool.
Alright. Let's see if we can do that. This first time. For 200 gold potion.
You're telling me I spent 10,000 and I can't even sell this potion for more than 200? Fuck. Seems worth it, honestly.
Supply and demand. There's a lot of supply right now. All your potions, what do you mean?
Like, not a invisibility potion on your shelf.
Alright, so you can see that she has like this, it almost looks like a recipe book. It's just got a bunch of like tabs on it. It's bulky. It's probably about the size of this here, but it's got like pages sticking out of it, and she just starts kind of thumbing through it. So, an invisibility potion. Alright. So it looks here like we're going to at least need a little bit of... Well, it's a little bit pricey, but if you can find it, it's good to use. Shade lily is the main ingredient in it. And the shade lily will be used with... I think I might actually have some of that lying around. So she turns around and starts going over towards the back where she starts thumbing through some things. You can see where she goes, there's actually like these thin sheets that are made of some sort of a glass material that she's like pulling out very delicately that she sets down. And as she sets it down, you can see that there are what seem to be a lot of bits of like powder or like petals that are sandwiched between these to just like keep them preserved in some sort of a way. As she takes it out though, she goes, not in there, slides it back in and then goes underneath and starts thumbing through some vials, pulls it back up and sets down what you can see is the shade lily, you're assuming. It has this very, very deep colored root, and then the flower petals themselves are dark, but there's almost like a translucency to them where you can kind of see a little bit through them, almost like a very kind of thin plastic, if you would. But she pulls that up and you can see as she sets it down. This here's the shade lily. It's not poisonous. It just has some sort of...
I eat it? No, I'm just kidding.
disappear forever.
That's all I need to do.
Typically, shade lily is found in places of little to no sunlight at all. They grow usually within the winter months. They're typically easy to spot whenever you are looking for them within the bright white snow. But like I said, you find them little to no sun. They grow in the winter months. But what you use with the shade lily is this root here. People call it all sorts of other names, but I just call it buyback root. She grabs it and sets it out in front of you, and you can see that it's this like very, very deep green, kind of twisted and gnarled root that looks like, even though it may have been yanked from the ground for some time, still has a lot of like life and what would be, like some sort of water content and like moisture within it. As she sets it down, anytime you prepare this buyback root, you need to take it and cut it in half and then cut it in half once more. So I'll show you how to do that in order to have it prepared for you. And this buyback root here is actually used in a lot of potions. Typically potions that aren't like some sort of an antidote or a potion of healing. They're used in a lot of resistance type potions, water breathing potion. What else can we use buyback root for? A small little bit of buyback root is good to put in potions of like strength and growth, just to give it more of a stability, if you would. Sometimes those potions can be very, very tricky. But anyways, down to what we're doing. So if you want to, you can take this and prepare it. I'll cut it in half. You do one half, I'll do the other. And you watch her pretty much cut it into fourths. Like she cuts it down the middle, almost like a pickle. Like cuts it down the middle and then cuts it again to where you have like these slices of it, or quartered slices. She takes the one and then sets it into the mortar. So with this, instead of usually grounding up one, grounding up the next, and then mixing them, you just put it all into the mortar at once and grind it all up together. So I'll let you do that, and you can try and attempt to make yourself a potion of invisibility. So she puts before you the root and the shade lily, and gives you the mortar and pestle to do with it as you wish.
I'll try and make an invisibility potion.
Alright, if you need help, I'll just be over there.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and roll your crouching check, the percentage die. You're going to need at least 0 to 70.
32.
It might be close, hold on.
Thought it was 0 to 60.
Sorry, you need
Quit.
You said you rolled 72?
32.
Oh, I think you said 72. It's 0 to 70%.
70, yeah.
So you're good.
This shit's not too easy.
Alright, now, with this you're going to need 5 crafting points in order to complete the visual potion. Make sure you write down the crafting points I'm telling you for these. Did you write down the moderate? The moderate was only 3.
I need a new page.
A new page. This is a momentous occasion.
He's got a fucking 7,500 page notebook and uses 3 pages on it.
He's had that since 1884.
Yeah.
Make a folded collection of backlinks.
What are these skill points?
Crafting points. The skill points are your progress towards the alchemy thing, and you should be at 34 with that. And then for a moderate healing potion, it's 3 crafting points. And then a greater will be 5, and a superior will be 7. Probably should have fucking just printed this off.
But yeah, I'm gonna be needing it soon too.
So 5 for the invisibility potion?
5 for the invisibility potion, yep. So you can make a number of checks equal to your constitution modifier, round it down, but you only do 1, so you have to do 1 and then your constitution saves to see if you can actually go beyond that. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this and get it printed up for everybody. What you got?
Natural one.
Oh,
I dropped it, should I take it?
huh?
I dropped it, should I take it?
No, just roll it.
It was a 16, it was actually a good roll. It was another 16, so... What was it? What am I adding to it?
It's gonna be your, no, you're not proficient yet, so it's just gonna be your intelligence.
17.
17? Okay. But you rolled a natural 1 on the first one. Oh, but you re-rolled natural ones. Okay. So 17 is 2 crafting points. At this point, all you've really done is taken the time to make sure that you have an appropriate amount of the the shade lily and the roots.
Second page.
But what you have in front of you
now.
seems to be enough. You don't really mix any sort of water with it because you watch once you crush down the buyback root that it starts to kind of emit this moisture and water from it, and you can almost see it go from the green to start to get to more of a grayish color as the water is like slowly leaving it. You're crushing it all together. You can see that it gets to be almost like a paste kind of consistency, and you are not quite sure if you should use it as it is or put more water in it. But if you want to make another check, you can make another check for the day for that, but you have to make your constitution save first. You need at least a 10.
It literally landed perfectly to where there wasn't a number in this little hole. Little pencil hole trolled me. I got a 10.
Got a 10?
Well, actually a 13.
Okay, so you're good.
Natural one. This class is broken. How is it? Is fucking race. 15. For the
15.
actual.
For the actual one, gives you 2 more points. You gonna try again?
Yeah.
Alright, you need a 15 for your save.
Well, no luck.
Good time to do it.
Okay, got a 13.
Okay, so you're exhausted. At least 1 point of exhaustion. So you roll a disadvantage.
I get tired in real life. It's just fucking natural one. Rolled 3.
Just keeps us in. Another natural one? No.
It's actually so dumb. 19.
19. Okay, so that's enough. Did you roll a disadvantage?
Oh shit.
Because you're exhausted.
It's a 6.
6.
I
So
only
no
need
progress. You get 0 crafting points.
We're going for double exhaustion.
Okay, so you already have 15, so you need a 20.
Close, 10.
Alright, so you have 2 points of exhaustion.
Half.
It's a 5.
No progress again. One more no progress roll, and it increases the crafting score.
I'm gonna die today. Exhaustion comes. Need a 25.
Kita walks over as you're like grinding the mortar and pestle. Ender, what are you doing?
Huh?
Hey, go and get some sleep. You're gonna end up killing yourself.
This is what's killing me. That
That'll still be here tomorrow.
would be unfortunate.
Don't worry about it. Just come back again and try tomorrow. You look like you got everything ready. You just gotta put it all together.
Oh, I thought I was far away, honestly.
You're almost right there. Just a little more water in there. Get it to a good consistency.
Should I just do it now then, if I'm so close?
No, you might miss it. You just go get some rest, okay?
Alright.
I've watched you pour it into the pedestal, into the potion vial, and then back and forth twice now.
Okay. You don't need any help, like, around the shop? Like me, like, you don't need
No,
sweeping or
the 9
dusting?
hours it's taken you to do this, I've been just cleaning up and taking care of
It's
things.
been 9 hours?
It sure has. I actually went out and ate.
I am quite hungry. I guess that makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna go get some food and sleep.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so you'd have 2 points of exhaustion, you lose the 1 as you rest, and then you still have the 1, so you're disadvantaged on your ability checks.
Doesn't mean I'm not going back to finish it. I'll get 8 exhaustion. I'll die and keep getting exhaustion.
It's a record.
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue to do that, we will go back to the estate where you would have cleaned up everything by now and been on to the next day
To 9.
for your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Imagine not even be able to sleep correctly.
This guy won't.
I was making fun of you, but I
So,
can't sleep,
at the
so.
estate, what are you planning on doing, crafting-wise, getting stuff ready?
I'm gonna start by trying to finish the new gun.
Okay.
There's a few things I need to do.
Jared, will you go out on the printer there?
No.
Just printed 3 copies of the blacksmithing thing. Can you grab it?
I said no.
That's me.
Hey, need a
Do you mind grabbing me a beverage while you're up there? What do you want?
Me too.
That's fine.
Me too. Also want one of those. Sure.
We appreciate you, thank you.
I could really use a Sprite.
You want a Sprite? Do you actually want a Sprite?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
2 Sprites, 2 cherry Pepsis.
You want anything, Jared?
I'm good for 2 cherry Pepsis. Sure. Yeah, I'll bring some pizza down too.
You mind running to the store real quick?
They would be running too.
Forgot to file my taxes. Would you mind? Okay,
Gotta run a couple here.
so
Day 1.
day 1, you make your way down into the shop. You have a good amount of everything assembled. The biggest thing that you are getting progress and trying to work towards is like finding a good way for the cylinder to properly like rotate or eject, and it seems like you're getting stuck in some spots where the mechanism just isn't working right for you, and you don't know if it's something really intricate or if you have to work on a bigger scale and just almost redo the whole cylinder, which you're really hoping not. So you're going to attempt today to see if you can figure that out. So go ahead and roll your percentage roll for the day. You need anywhere from 0 to 90.
45.
Alright, so you can craft for the day. Alright, so so I'm assuming you're just spending the day working, right?
Yeah.
So half your constitution mounted down, so you can do
1.
1. Okay. So for your 1 check, go ahead and roll your d20, add your intelligence and proficiency.
13.
13. Okay, so you get 1 crafting point towards it. pumped up.
Go again.
Okay. Go ahead and make your con save.
9.
9?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a fail, so you are exhausted.
You got it.
Thank you.
18.
Did you roll with disadvantage?
Can you give me one of those plates? I just want
18.
18. Okay, so you get 2 crafting points towards
Thank
it.
you.
What's your total right now?
30.
30? Okay. Did we agree upon a number of what we were
50.
50. Okay, I thought so. Alright, so are you doing more for the day, or is that good for today?
Yeah, I'll go again.
Okay.
Saving
you
throws disadvantage too? Or just check?
Just checks. Yeah, so you need a...
21.
That's a success, so you're good. Still at disadvantage.
11.
11. That is 1 point towards it. At this point, did you print all 3 of them? You guys got them all? You're good? Yeah, okay, cool. Sue, now that you've got it to a point where you're pretty comfortable with the way the cylinder as a whole is sitting, you've gotten it to a point where you believe that you're not going to have to redo the entire thing, and that there's some sort of a small pin that's on the inside that's causing it to kind of jam up. So you actually take the cylinder off, remove the pin from the inside where it actually like attaches to, and you start to like fine detail work at that, and you know that tomorrow you're gonna probably have to work on that a little bit more too to get that down, because you pretty much have the body done, the stock's pretty much made. There's a little bit more on the barrel that you'd like to work on and fine tune and possibly bore out the actual rifle itself, but you feel that you were on a pretty good track from where you first started out, with all of the fuck ups that originally occurred.
Nice.
What day is it then? Are we still like one day out, or are we getting back today?
You'll be back, because this is the 6th, I think?
Yes.
Right, so you're going to be getting back in 2 days.
Oh,
Well, actually,
I said that
you
seems
would have
far.
left. Yeah, you would have left here.
Because it was just the one day, and then what? 4 days on the wings.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you guys got back to Arcanori
'Cause
on the 4th.
We left the same day we left the old guard the same day we got there. So.
Right. So you'd be getting back the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Alright. Sue, is there anything you guys want to do on your way home, or are you just trying to get back to the estate?
I mean, I didn't have anything planned unless Trelawney or Rex wanted to do anything. Other than just head back home.
my head's down in my shell, just holding on for dear life right
Alright, cool.
now. Fuck without happy.
Yeah, he really
So can I only push myself a certain amount of times?
You can push yourself as much as you want,
Oh.
just not to the point of death.
you can only
Isn't
get
it like-
you only get 5 exhaustion.
Isn't it like, five's like you literally can't do
you're
anything?
incapacitated.
Your speed just reduced to 0.
Is that it?
Yeah, you can
I
still
thought
do
you-
stuff. Mm-mm.
What does 4 do?
Your hit points are halved, the maximum.
So you really could just kill yourself as long as you're not moving.
Right, but will not let you.
Lame.
The blame?
Yeah.
You think a 2.5-year campaign would be
Yeah.
done by you killing yourself crafting some
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
stupid ass potion?
Gonna take a step off the cliff? Right or what?
Are you resting for the night?
Are you sure you
I think at some point he's gonna like be done with the gun, but like as he's like winding down for the night, still tired, but he's gonna try and like make sure he knows how to build the ammo for it,
Okay.
because
So you
the
want to start like the plans for it?
yeah,
Okay.
'cause the ammo's gonna be like like pop can size.
Right.
Okay,
What is he building?
what do I roll for like the skill points? I don't know, it's somewhere in there.
Yep.
Oh, this one?
Yep. Right there. So you see that? That's like learning a new craft, and it tells you the brackets of it.
I don't know.
The liquids don't cost money, so does that mean I'm not using
That
as money?
page
at this
is.
point?
Don't worry about that page. I should have even printed that one.
So
But the second page has all of the tiers, and you do it every day. And like I said, you don't have to spend the gold
before, so I
cost.
get
However many
3.
skill points you have towards your total.
3.
You got the paper right in front of you. You'd be able to.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, you got it right. You understand.
You have the paper in front of you.
I just don't know what. I mean, I guess I have it right in front of me too. So right now, since your skill point level is at 37 now, you're still in the novice tier, and then you move up as it progresses, and you do it more per day.
Fuck, man. You make a motion. See what tier you're in.
I don't know. Okay, I'm at 100 and something. For my score, I'm at 100.
So are we setting like a crafting score for
the
able to
ammo?
make the ammo?
Yeah, so I think we set one before for your other ammo, and it keeps slipping my mind.
I don't have that paper anymore.
Oh, the regular ammo?
Yeah.
I might have that because I was just looking for crafting stuff. Hold on a minute. That's not it.
I just realized that I have a D100, but I've never used it, actually. Do you have my D100 over there?
I think so.
I don't have the score. I just have 10
Like,
bullets
actually?
per pound of iron.
We just have to wait 30. Yeah, we just have to wait like 5 minutes every roll.
It's literally.
I don't have the score, but I do have 10 bullets per pound of iron. I think it was like a.
I think it's just one per crafting point.
Yeah, that might be it. Because I
So
was.
it's like because you're
I think
spending.
it was like a scale.
Because you're spending 8 hours like doing it,
Yeah.
and I think it was like.
But cheese, honestly.
So these would probably be like at least 5.
Two.
Just
Yeah,
one
per
per
one.
egg, yeah.
Is that 100?
That works for me.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's a ball.
It doesn't.
Like, how do you know what number it lands on? It's so small.
You have to like stand on top.
And press. And like.
Yeah, it's not gonna stop. It's just gonna roll.
There it
That's
is.
a
That's a
one.
one.
Reroll it.
Yeah, I'm sure play a cleric.
If you didn't realize, the basement floor is slanted that way. Okay, so you are doing that right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you, it's obviously not gonna be able to make one tonight.
Right. This will just be the plans towards it. So like the first one. Let's see. I'm gonna say also for the bullet, just to make the bullet, it's gonna be 1 bar.
Yeah.
Like 1 iron bar.
Yeah.
So just make sure for however many you have that you know that we're taking that from the total. Do you still have the total iron written down, Deleuze?
Yes.
500 something, wasn't it?
84 bars right now.
You were at like
Where were we?
you were
What's
way
that?
up there, but you guys built the cannons, the cannonballs, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Or we're gonna have to
Yeah, you should have had
restart.
them restock when they went to the fucking the mountains.
But that's okay. I mean, what are we gonna use it for if not this? So use it up.
Okay, so go ahead and
don't use our fucking iron, okay?
No, I could try and make some. Well,
you're gonna have to make another percentage roll just because it's a different item.
blacksmithing is a different trade.
4 something.
Or something. Okay, that works.
I
so
still have the only I can
with that, go ahead and make your d20. So proficiency in intelligence too.
Yeah, I just twist metal
Damn, wasn't that 20?
around the door so nobody can get.
16.
16. Okay, so that would be 10 points towards it.
All the doors look like they're push doors, but they're really full. That's what we really do.
Towards the first bullet.
Yeah.
So the first bullet will just be like you're getting the plans ready, so you'll be able to get a head start on it and get it going. So you have an idea of how you're going to make it. You're pretty much making a wad on the bottom part of it. Like this is like the casing that has. It's pretty much. I'd equate it to like how a hollow point would be made, but the wad like is like this thick of just like gunpowder and whatever else is needed to actually eject it and push it.
Does he get advantage on his next roll since he made plans?
No, it's just towards the crafting point of the one. Yeah. All right.
I can just see you being like, guys, this is my new weapon.
It's just gone. It implodes. Yeah.
There's a spot on there.
Think like a Looney Tunes explosion.
After that, I'd probably go to bed.
Yep.
The gun is a flower.
And you just had the 1 point, correct, of exhaustion?
Yeah.
Alright. Did you say on the 7th? Okay, so that would be not... Is it today? Yes?
It will not be today after I go to bed here.
Yeah, alright, so go ahead.
12.
12?
Success.
Yes, that's a success. You're still kind of under the radar right now.
How many weeks is it, or how many days has it been since,
Since you've been there,
what, 2?
this will be the 3rd. Yeah, because you guys got there on the 4th. You spent the 4th figuring yourself out.
Yeah, I mean,
And 5th, 6th. Yeah, you can do that.
Pop them out.
50.
Good. You just need 1 more point.
Disadvantage.
Is the proficiency's at 250, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But being at the... What'd you get?
14.
14? That's enough to create the potion of invisibility.
Oh, did I dunk that?
With the bracket that you're in right now,
Yeah.
Moldrak, you, when you use, like, tools and stuff, you're considered skilled instead of just, like, improvising stuff, so you have, like, competency. So there should be another bracket in the percentage roll that's, like, improvised with good equipment, where it's, like, still, like, 0 to 30% or something like that. So instead, now you're able to use, like, all the skilled brackets until you get proficient with it, obviously.
Right.
Where have I seen it?
And I think I got it.
You're just getting...
Improvised with great equipment?
Yeah. So it's not on there yet, but it's pretty much like a... You're pretty much in the same basket as like skilled with no equipment. So it's like 0 to 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Improvised, unskilled, no equipment. You can still do it. It's possible.
It's possible. You're right.
Anything is possible.
So, Gita walks over.
Done it once already.
You sleep pretty well, wake up and get to the shop the next day, and then once you get in there, you put a little bit more water inside of it, because right now it's like this kind of gritty and thick paste that you have under, but now it's at the point where you've started to pour it and it works well enough. You get it into a vial where you close it into it. You can look at it and it's this kind of darker color, and then as you're sitting there watching it, you're looking at it and you're like, I don't remember the potion of invisibility looking like this, and then Gita's just sitting behind you. What you got there?
I think I might have messed it up.
Is that the potion of invisibility?
Yeah.
Give it a minute. Just grab it and put it under your shirt for a minute and then take it out. Just needs to be out of the sunlight for a little while. You could wait till nighttime, but I promise it's a little trick.
I'll grab it and do it.
Okay, you grab it, do it. You wait for like a good minute maybe, and then take it out. And as you pull it out, you watch it go from the dark black color, and then you watch it slowly start to get clear, like from the outside in.
Cool.
Should work.
Cool.
Alright, so do you have any questions about crafting, like alchemy and such? So over the last 3 days, you have a pretty decent understanding of how everything works. I could have you just kind of shadow me the rest of the time and understand it a bit more, help me with the superior healing potions I'm making.
That'd probably work.
Alright.
Seems like a good idea.
Alright. If you have questions, though, before you get ready to go, just let me know. Alright, so I'll say that the consecutive days while you're there, you can just make your checks for advancing your skills.
79.
Okay,
It's the 7th.
this is the 7th. I was just coming over to you,
Can I
Connor.
check?
Go ahead and make your check, my friend.
Yes. What, but
Oh, I can always look.
yeah.
Taking this one. I'm not failing this. I have 5 0 points that I can go through.
The spell's worth it.
I believe.
You also have to kind of start over if you don't get it.
I learned this spell and I haven't been like, wow, it's flipping
Yeah, you
nuts
right.
yet, so. Are you just gonna like another skill check? Is that how we're gonna do it
Until you guys
stop?
leave, yeah.
Puts it up to 12.
If there's something you want to do in between in the meantime, though, you
I'm
go
just
for
here
it.
for 2 weeks.
21.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I figure like it. Instead of us going through every nitty-gritty detail, you can
Yeah.
get that done, and then when it gets to a point where Andrew has a way better understanding, can start making potions and stuff. You can.
do you want me to roll 14 times for each of them? Or I guess it'd be like 11 times.
Yeah. It's
I'm saying for at least 2 weeks.
yeah. I mean, you can at least finish out the week if you want to.
So I roll to check if I can?
Nope.
And then
For the skill, like improving it, if you go to
do I
the
just do the skill
how to get
improvement
started. Yeah, you're only doing that one because you're not making any more potions. Unless you get and buy your own ingredients. Like it doesn't. She didn't say like, "Hey, I'm not letting you just keep using my stuff to make potions." Like she just kind of was like, "All right, you know, you got a basic understanding now. You don't really need to keep messing with my shit."
So 4 more times because it's done at 3?
Yeah, at least 4. That'll be for a whole week.
I used 2 hero points. Got me into my DC.
Okay, that's the final check you needed, right? Or was it the first one?
That was the 4th one. I need 2 now.
So you need 2 more. Okay, got it. All right, so your next one will be on the 14th then.
Yes.
All right. Okie dokie. Are you staying in Arkanoria in the meantime?
Yep.
Okay. The spell, you find it better serves you at night to try and actually attempt to learn it better and fully understand it. All right.
51.
Okay. You're at 51?
Yeah.
Okay. A little more than halfway to the next tier. So, for Zarvarax, Muldrak, and Chelonia, you guys will make your way back to the estate, like, at nighttime. Like, it'll be probably, like, 8:30 or so. And around this time of year, it's dark, pretty close to, like, 8 o'clock. But, in the meantime, for you, Azrael, if you didn't already make your checks, if you want to do that. So if you want to make your percentage roll for the day. You need at least 0 to 90%.
Yeah, okay, that was a 0.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you're
was
good.
just I was trying to remember if that was a 0 or 100.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, it'd be like 1, 2, because you can't actually, like, unless you roll doubles. But
Okay. Right. I
either
figured I
way.
should have rolled the other one too, so that would be a 7.
Yeah,
so
you're
double
still
0
good.
would have been bad,
Right.
I think.
So, for you, you begin down. Are you working on the gun or the ammo
The gun.
first? Gun. All right. Go ahead and make your check for that.
19.
19. All right. So that is 2 points. You're pretty much at like 40 now, right?
33.
33. Oh fuck. Maybe I thought you were at 30. Maybe you're at 20.
Triple zeros? 100 or 0?
It's a.
It's 100.
It's 100. Yeah.
Con save.
So you can't actually
It's 1, 2,
very good. So you can't-
16.
Success.
You always come to this to me.
11.
That's 1 point.
Con save. 10.
That's a fail because it's the second one. So you're at disadvantage.
20.
This also doesn't have a 0 on it.
3 crafting points.
Yeah.
Another one.
Alright. You need a 20.
19.
You have 2 levels of exhaustion.
So they're wrong.
14.
That is 1 point.
Alright.
Alright. So, you, at this point, working on the gun, have it to a point where the cylinder is freely moving in the way you need it to. You have it to the point where you're now having to start to work on like the firing pin and actual mechanism that will work with the trigger, like incoherent, like compatible with the actual cylinder itself. So you have like the gun down, and you're starting to realize like when you're holding like, yeah, this is gonna fucking hurt. But holding it, like pulling the trigger, you're finding that the way that you're having to attach the trigger to the pin, when you're pulling the pin, you're having it to where it's like one pin, right, hits, and then you have to like flip it to the next, or is it just naturally wanting to?
Two triggers.
Two triggers is how you want it to do it. Okay.
Fire each side, spin it, eject them.
Okay.
Put 2 new ones in, spin it.
Got it. All right. So you're getting it down to the point where both the triggers are there, and it's something that you really haven't messed with, like having to put 2 onto one actual like trigger guard. So it's hard getting that space down, but you know that you're getting closer because it's getting to this point where you're getting this mechanism fully put down. So you're taking the handle piece kind of apart and looking at it a little bit. The stock is just kind of sitting off to the side right now and not like attached, just so you can get to the mechanism that's back there a little bit better. But you can work on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then as you are walking out, you would have already heard them come in and like walking around. When you guys get here, everything is cleaned. It's not like spiffy and like spick and span. You're not really sure what happened. Everything looks to be the same, but you can see in the sanctuary that there's like one of the like palm frond like plants that just kind of cracked over and sitting inside of the pond water. Don't know what happened, but it just looks like it's kind of cracked and
Did Naris clean the front yard?
The front, like the only thing that you would have seen out front was like the tents that are still there. There's no like glass bottles and shit hanging or sitting around.
Nobody in the tents?
No.
Okay.
The wall drag pictures not centered. It's bothering the shit out of me.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
I'd probably hop down and pull the plants out of the water and try to replant it as best I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it's like the top part of it, and then just kind of snapped off, and it doesn't look like that would be because it's more like a palm frond type of deal. So they're just like these 5 big thick blades of grass. It looks like that are just kind of that normally like canopy over the water itself. And it looks like it got snapped off. It's about like person high.
Is the stalk still intact?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good then. I'll just I'll cut like a clean break spot so that it can regrow, and I'll take the leaves out of there and kind of clean up a little bit.
Yeah. Other than that, everything seems to be in order.
Okay.
Nothing really seems awry. You're just kind of walking around. There's no food in the kitchen, like that's made.
You know, I get to the kitchen. I'm like, ah!
Yeah. At the end of your crafting, you hear Moldrek yell in the kitchen. Yeah.
And his gun's broken.
It pans out to like a far distant shot of the house as a mushroom cloud.
The end.
Where's all the food?
There's no food?
I don't know. It's not here.
I'm gonna walk out. You guys are back early.
Yeah,
Earlier than I thought.
It was a quick trip, surprisingly.
Ugh.
What's the deal?
There's some shit that happened at the house while we were gone. I came back to some piece of shit running away that just robbed our house.
So did you stop him?
Yeah, he gave us it back. I spared his life. It wasn't really worth it, but
Okay.
the guard out front, when I went to the tent, he was assed out, and he said something about the party or something. So they threw a party while we were gone. The house was actually a mess. Me and Darius cleaned it up.
Well, it looks nice now. Somebody broke my plant. I'm not really happy about that, but
Yeah, there was a lot of shit all over the sanctuary. Whoever was in here obviously let the homunculi out.
yeah, I could tell.
Stuff in my workshop was missing.
Did you talk to somebody about it?
Harker wasn't there. I left some words with the dean though, and I gave him a list of everything that was missing.
That's good. You think he'll replace our homunculi?
I put him on the list.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just try to make food then. I make no promises that it will be homunculi quality.
That's alright, I'll still eat it.
Just gonna try to make some sort of stew.
Okay. You guys have Moldrek go in the kitchen and just like
So Moldrek popping out.
start looking around.
I got this 10.
I'm expecting you to roleplay the entire.
I would help, but I'm tired, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
like, just like lay in the chair until he has something done.
Alright, Muldrak. You grab a very big, like, boiling pot. What would you like to throw in said pot?
Potatoes, carrots.
Okay.
Taking bombs.
Onion. Is there onion in Zaxria? Or are
Yeah.
these all vegetables that are here? I don't know.
They're all obtainable, yes.
Some sort of meat.
Okay.
Do we
Hopefully
have
we
all
have,
this right
Yeah.
now?
like a
Nice, so
large
we're running out of
lump
stock.
roast or something. I don't know what we have.
Yeah. When you get back to the storage, you can see that there are probably only 3 or so crates that have actual like foods in them, and that is what causes you to pick the things you pick to throw into the pot because it's literally all that's really there. When it comes to meat, you guys don't have anywhere that really stores it or keeps it well, so every time that you guys actually need meat, it seems like it's something like the meat that you were originally eating to start out was all meat that was either brought to the house or freshly kind of killed within a few days and was salted well enough.
Okay.
But it seems like since the time you've been gone and like actually ate last, like you noticed the last meal you had here was pretty much just like potatoes and some sort of like other soup type of thing that was like not really a stew, but it was more like a soup of some sort, like a vegetable soup and some sort of like a potato on the side, because a lot of like the meat that you were using really isn't in stock anymore in your house. And sometimes like you may have gone out and like hunted and brought something back and then been able to make that. However, with you guys being gone and like you just getting back, you just kind of throw a bunch of vegetables into a pot and start to kind of boil that up.
Well, alright, so I'm gonna let that get going. I'm just
Okay.
gonna keep it on like a, feed it every so often. I want to go out back and try to catch some fish to throw in the stew.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I have several ideas about how I could do that.
Alright, how are you catching
that's-
a fish?
That's what I was thinking at first. Okay. So it's nighttime, right?
Right.
All right. I'm gonna cast water walking on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out a good distance, and then I'm going to use dancing lights to try and like do like a fish shine kind of thing, and and then just shape water and just pop them up out of the water and grab them.
Okay. Make a nature check for me to start.
Okay. Cool.
Please let this work. This should fire.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gonna be a 9.
Okay.
Alright.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good.
So you can see that a lot of the kind of sea life and ocean life that's out by where you guys are, it's a lot of crab that sits over here.
I'll take it.
So when you're shining the lights, you don't actually see fish, but you can see a couple of like crabs like walking and crossing the bottom part of the water. So you just like reach down and pull, like you have to put your hand in the water a little bit to kind of like push them up. What spell are you using to move them?
I was just gonna do shape water and just like basically make pull like a bubble up out of the water and they're like floating in it.
Okay, yeah. Easy enough for the crab like being on the ground. You just kind of float it to the top, and then it just, once it pops at the top, it starts to slowly kind of like sink down, but you just reach your hand in and grab it. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Alright. 3.
Okay, you get 3 decent sized crabs that you think you could throw in there.
That's good. That's all I wanted to do. I'm gonna run back in the house and then prepare those to toss in the stew.
Alright.
I'll probably just take the meat out and then dump it in the stew, so it's all just kind of like a fish stew or something.
Got it. That's boiling along with the vegetables. You kind of set it down. Zarbrex this whole time has just been like sitting there, like waiting and watching. Like, is it done yet?
Almost.
5 minutes. Is it done yet?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
How'd the axe head go?
Okay. We know where it might be.
Yeah. Well, not really. We know who might have it.
Right, but we gotta talk to Connor to figure that out.
Yeah. Do you know anything about fire giants?
Do you know anything about fire giants? I was gonna ask him.
Oh, sorry, but
Make like a history check or something?
Go ahead and make a history check. You can do it with advantage.
28.
28. Okay.
My cousin's one.
So you, my cousin. Oh god. Your knowledge of fire giants is not similar to normal D&D universe. Typically, fire giants are like found in the plane of fire within the like world of fire within the cities and such. But within this universe, fire giants are actually normally very, very greedy type creatures that are commissioned by demons to create demonic weapons and like forge things for them. So a lot of times they are found within several layers of the hells. Typically, though, there aren't very many fire giants that you remember seeing, so you don't think there's a lot of them, if that helps in any sort of a way. It doesn't seem that they're home to any sort of single level of hell or layer. It seems that they are kind of like a for hire type of person that thrives within the demonic universe and kind of culture by creating and forging weapons for them. So you'd see why it would make sense for him to steal the axe head and come to Zaxria and steal metals and such. And you know that during the eradication that they would probably have stolen a lot of metals and stone and stuff from all sorts of places all over the place. And you're kind of mad that you didn't even think of that to begin with, because it makes sense.
Oh shit. As far as I remember, fire giants are like blacksmithing mercenaries for the demons.
That sounds red as hell.
Yeah, they back during the eradication, they were forging weapons for them. And they've taken a lot of metals and a lot of shit from Zaxria and go back to the hells and create weapons.
Well, it seems like we're stuck having to go to the hells again.
So maybe we have to get.
I think we have to go like first layer. Will that be good, or we're gonna have to go further?
They don't really have a home.
Oh,
They're just kind of spread out. Might not be a bad idea to get all the pieces then. So when we go in
first,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how this journey to the hells is gonna play out anyway.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if it's a one-way.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a one-way, but
Right. It's
could
a
be.
dangerous place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this stew is done. Just like bring the big cauldron over to the table and just like ladling out soup to everyone. I don't know if it will be good,
Alright, who's all eating?
but it is fish soup.
Everybody eating?
I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Zarbrax probably has been patiently waiting.
Con save?
Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, Mulder.
Oh god, alright.
Just a d20, don't add anything.
18.
18. It is really fucking good.
Zarbrax can make a good
I mean,
steak.
it is crab, right?
Yeah, it is pretty good. There's like that kind of little bit of like crab meat that you catch and it kind of melts in your mouth. Moldrak dropped like a frickin' stick of butter in it pretty much and melted all that down, and then there's vegetables in there and everything just kind of goes together.
On top there's plenty.
How bad?
Yeah, I don't really cook that much, but when you grow up in a tribe, you learn how to cook.
I'm impressed.
Alright, so what have you been up to while we've been gone?
Cleaning and then working on that new gun.
Okay.
Getting pretty close. I have the designs made for the ammo.
Think you'll be able to finish it before we go?
We're leaving in a week and a half.
About.
I think so, yeah. I'm really low on all my other ammo though, so I don't know if you want to. I have casings made.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to fill them or not.
I can do that. I don't have anything else planned for the rest of the week and a half we're here.
I don't have any casings made for the rifle, but
I can do that.
I could show you, I guess, how
Yeah.
those are made. I only have 4 of those left.
Okay. Well, did they steal any of our large raw metal?
I don't think so.
Okay. Probably we'll need some more.
And
Yeah,
then
it
what
seemed
the-
like that was too heavy, so they didn't really.
The one guy who I caught stealing was just stealing like random shit to try and just make a pen. I got a quick buck off of. But
Okay.
I think the rest of the house being trashed was just from people partying and using things that weren't theirs.
Alright, well, yeah, I can help you out with that. I'm not planning on doing anything else.
Sweet. We'll get to work in the morning then.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Is my room clean? Is anything missing? I'm gonna go check downstairs.
Yep, there's a lock that leads to the vault.
Okay.
So,
But what about the stuff on the pedestals?
Yeah, no, I mean like just to like downstairs in
Oh, to
general.
get
There's
downstairs.
yeah, there's like a
Okay.
skeleton key on a deadbolt, so
Alright.
it's you can't actually like get down there.
Okay, we're
The
good.
only other room that you would have wanted to check would have been the prayer room that has the statues in it.
Alright.
Everything in there though also quite heavy. Doesn't seem like it was moved. However, you can see the statue of Keranos is like kind of shifted a little bit, like somebody may have tried to like grab it, but it was way too heavy to actually take.
Over.
Yeah,
Shift it back.
easy enough.
Alright. That being that, I'll just go to bed. Get an early start in the morning.
18. That's snooze.
It's a success.
Easy snooze.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
So do you take like damage when you fail
No.
on a sleep check? Like how does that? What like I don't know what's going on. Like in your sleep you fought demons?
He almost died. He fights demons awake. He fights demons sleeping. Mass never.
Is that like a curse that was put on you or something?
Maybe. Who knows? He's very, I don't know. You could ask him.
Used to be pretty secretive guy.
We don't actually. I don't think we know it.
We
Well,
do know about
we
the
know he
curse.
has like trouble sleeping, but I don't think we.
We know about the curse, don't we? He
Do we?
explained that.
Yeah, he did. He did.
With his brother.
Yeah. I don't know if we.
We didn't go too in depth in it,
Yeah.
but we don't know about the sleeping too much. We do know he sometimes has bad dreams, though. Where they come and tell him he needs to give him a shard.
We did that now. You should stop having those dreams.
Actually, got worse, weirdly enough.
The shore.
Okay, so the next day when you guys awaken, the estate is quiet in comparison to everywhere you've been recently. Even the Feywild has its crazy noises of birds and insects all throughout it, the water constantly running. But here by the ocean, you get the occasional maybe bit of wind that causes a little stir or creak to the building of the estate. But the estate is built pretty solid. It's insulated quite well. You don't have trouble sleeping, and you actually sleep in till like noon, just because it's so nice to have like your bed, and you know that you don't really have anywhere to go or do anything, unless you did want to be up early. However, Chelonia
They can just
and
work late, I don't care.
Chelonia and Neris are up quite early, just because you only sleep for short periods of time and meditate. However, once everybody's up and at 'em, you guys can do and take on the day as you wish.
Who the fuck's Adam?
Is there another guy in your house?
What?
Who the fuck's Adam?
Who the fuck's Adam?
I'm not taking prisoners.
Up and Adam.
Oh, up and Adam. Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
That's the only homuncule I left.
Do I need to make some sort of check for Moldrak to be able to make what I need him to make, or
What are you having to make?
I'm gonna have him just fill casings. I have 21 of them
Okay.
to make just plain revolver bullets, but I also wanted him to try and make rifle bullets because I don't have any. I mean, I have plans because I made them, but I don't have like
Right.
and actual
So
done for those.
typically before, I don't think you were making a check for. Were you making a check for the casings? I think you were. Just
I was crafting them like with a score and everything.
Okay.
So
We'll
I
do
made
those the same as.
I made the previous casing.
Yeah, we'll do those the same as the bullets then. So for every crafting point you get for the normal ammunition, it's just going to be equivalent to casing. So if you get 3 crafting points, it's 3 casings done. And then for his newer ones, to create the casings for those, yeah, that's probably going to be the tough part too.
We could do.
We'll say for every 2 crafting points, you could make 1 of the casings.
Okay.
Because he still has to do some shit on his end that's actually making it. So all in all, it's like 7 points just for 1 bullet. So it works out.
Okay.
For the rifle ammo, 2 CP, right?
Yes.
I'm probably
What
gonna
is
go. First, I'll tell Connor, but I'm probably gonna go to Southbrook like 3 days earlier than the 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'll probably only have 4 days left. Like,
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to roll your checks, you can do that those 4 days. And then whenever you want to let Connor know, you go ahead and you do that.
89 on my daily check.
89.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think you're 2 off technically. But I should roll mine. I want to use this one or this one? Use this one. Yeah, we're good.
You're making your
Oh,
rolls.
yeah. 12. 1.
1 point.
I did 85 for the day.
24 con.
Should be good.
Second check. 20. Or 22. But
do you want to wait till they catch up, or just?
No, just do it.
Second
whenever
con.
you want to do it.
second con save. 11 is a
I'll probably
fail.
just find him while he's eating food and then breathe.
Okay.
15.
Hey, Connor.
2.
How you been?
Oh.
I haven't seen you for a few days.
Kind of just been
Crazy.
Another con save. It's another fail.
Crazy old wizard.
actually shrunken a little bit.
12.
I've kind of just been
Alright.
working on that spell.
2
I've
exhausted.
like figured out how to make potions. I'm not really good at it.
Almost there.
Like I could probably do it. Might be able to just do that now instead of buying them.
Probably revolver bullets because those are more important to me.
What kind of potions did you make?
Maybe just like I only made a moderate healing potion, which you said is pretty much really similar. You just change up the ingredients for like the higher level ones. I made invisibility.
We got those rifle bullets became master crafted because I rolled a nat 20,
so I wanted
right?
to make
We're
another
good.
one.
Your, didn't you get a bunch of ingredients for some sort of potion?
Yeah, they're all back in the house. I have to grab those at some point, or I mean, do it there. I am gonna go to Southbrook probably just like today. I just wanted to tell you so you guys weren't like looking for me. So I wanted to do something there.
Okay, well, I don't really see an issue with getting a room at the Citadel of Sand. They're normally pretty accommodating to us. I went there the last time I was gone, and they really wanted me to stay there. So they're like, "Oh, you want a room?" Okay, but yeah, they did offer me a room each time I've gone there.
That's what I'll probably do then. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna head out.
Okay, I'm probably about another week or so. I'll be on my way there, and then Azrael has the coin for everyone else, I believe. So normally, let's see, when were we leaving? Yeah, probably for about 2 weeks from today, or give or take. So
Yeah.
I'll be there probably about a week or so.
Okay. Well, see you then.
See ya.
Then I'll make my way to the Purple Gateway.
Okay. Alright, so you've done your checks for the day. there, Azrael. Moldrek's finishing his up. What did you complete?
I've done 3 bullets so far, but I failed my second check, so I gotta do the next one with disadvantage.
Okay.
Do I add to it my strength?
You're just adding your dex actually because.
Oh, my dex.
Yeah.
Okay, that puts it at 10, so 1 more. So I made 4 today. 4 revolver ammo.
Sweet. Okay, you guys all rest? Ready for the next day? Just keep chugging along. For today.
Moving on to the 8th.
8th.
Or, that was the 8th. We're on to the 9th.
We're on the 9th.
Natural 20 sleep.
How long did that potion lady say she was going to work on that flower?
I don't know.
I don't think she gave us a time period. She didn't give us a time period.
I just told her if you can make anything with it, make it. Preferably healing potions. She's also got her large order of potions to work on, so probably gonna take it back.
You all fall asleep. Sleep comes easy. You guys are just kind of going about your days, relaxing, preparing as best you can for the journey you have ahead of you. Chelonia, you fall asleep, and as you fall asleep, you fall into some sort of a trance and drift off. Almost into like a memory-like state. A place you've been before. The familiarity of it causes you to focus on what is coming towards you. Similar to what is about to occur, you are aware that what you are about to experience is some sort of possible visions or at least pieces of the future in some sort of a way.
Okay.
It starts off with people screaming and running through streets of fire. There are buildings lit almost up like a Christmas tree, burnt all the way from the floor to the top of the roof, and these huge bonfires are these homes. You can see some people that are walking up holding these torches, a symbol on their forehead. They have a look of death and no remorse in their eyes. Then it jumps and your vision goes to these blood-red, huge eyes that are encompassing your entire vision. The eyes have a piercing gaze, and that symbol in the forehead that it was on the previous people that you saw is on the creature. You hear a deep and gargled chuckle fades out before a burst of fire and your vision wakes you. You're not stirred or jumping around, but you're calm to make sense of whatever the hell it is you just saw. But you would know that it is similar to what the abilities that you have with all of your people, but you being by yourself, you only get it in like these broken pieces that could mean something or could, just be random.
Can you draw the symbol?
I sure can. I sure can. Let me actually. I got it right here.
Slide the dice over. That dice. The dice, yes.
I thought you rolled more dice.
Heavy labor.
This is the symbol.
I have a drone in my notebook.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh, prod boobies. Remembered. Now it's in my head forever.
What? What'd you say?
Can't say. And would I have seen this symbol before, like in my, like?
In previous visions, yes.
But I don't know exactly what
You only correlate it with the end of the world.
Okay.
Because everything that you saw, that
Just say
hellish
that's okay.
landscape that you saw, this symbol was on like the foreheads of people, like people that look like normal people, and any run-of-the-day people. It was on buildings, it was in, on all sorts of different places and things. But you guys all wake up and meet within the dining room to do as you wish.
It's another day of crafting.
Yeah, I'm getting right. I'm gonna have like some stale bread for breakfast and then get to work.
I'm gonna wander into their shop and approach both of them. I'm sure they're both in a similar area. And on the wall, I'm gonna use one of my fingers, like my claws, to scratch into the wall the symbol, and then I know you're familiar with the demon kind.
Yes. Well, I'm not, but he is.
Do you have any idea what this symbol means?
That symbol was on when there was the incursion in Bamor.
Yep. I hold up my notebook and show him the same symbol.
Seems to be the symbol associated with the coming of the end at the moment.
Yeah, the symbol of Brelnax.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but
It's fine. We only get bad news nowadays, so.
You're not wrong.
I've seen this symbol many times before with my tribe. And normally I wouldn't be able to see it into the future at all by myself, but I fear there's something coming.
You can see the future.
It's parts of it, or
Pretty wild.
more so the trajectory things are headed on as it sits currently. It always changes. It's never the same. But last night, this vision came to me with people with this symbol on their forehead. All over the buildings, the landscape burning. So I fear that whatever is coming is not far.
Well, I think we know when it's coming, unless it's going to happen sooner.
Possible.
I mean, it definitely could happen sooner, but, I mean, we need as much time as we can get. What do you propose we do?
I want to learn more about this symbol. I don't know what
Okay.
Brainmore is.
Well, I don't know.
I rolled a 90, by the way. Is that a success?
We
Yes.
can,
Cool.
Is there anybody who might know who I can find?
I mean, maybe the people of Tenavath or the Hall in Arcanoria. Those are the only two places I can really think of.
Do you know any history of the symbol? Or is just that what it is?
So, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, Ezra.
Just intelligence?
Yes.
16.
16. The calling before, you remember a lot of talk about Erebos and him leading it, and his symbol is like an eye with a bright red iris in the center, or like the pupil in the center. But this symbol that you're seeing is of Brelnax, and you were only told that because, previous experience encounters with it. But it's a symbol of Brelnax, who is, pretty much the overruling person of the Hells and older brother to Erebos. So you were thinking whatever was before was Erebos' attempt at an eradication, and whatever is coming next is Brelnax's attempt at an eradication.
Well, yeah, like Moldrak was just saying, this is Brelnax's symbol. The eradication, the first eradication had a different symbol, which was done by Erebos, so his younger brother. So if history is to repeat itself, then this is just the symbol of whoever's in charge leading the efforts of the eradication.
This symbol could have mind control properties, anything like that? Because maybe
I
the
wouldn't
threat
think-
isn't the demons themselves, but the people who are already here.
Maybe. I don't think just the symbol itself has any direct power. Definitely the demons and the tieflings who bring it into the world and utter their words of the hells definitely are the ones that influence people.
Well, then I'm off to one of those cities that you told me to see if I can find more information on this.
The only one we've seen it, well, we did see it in where the Harbinger was. That's a little far from here. But a little closer, there isn't really much there anymore. You're more than welcome to go, but
I mean, there is still the ruin of a portal. I mean, you could make it there and back within the time before we go, if that is what you want to do.
What city is the flower in?
Arcanoria.
So
That is in the sky.
In the sky.
this
So I
is the
can't
world
get
that you're in.
No,
You guys are
You
here.
can, but
This is
all
Tenebeth. This is like 3 days away. This is the like holy city of the world, and then Bamor is all the way over here. This is like a week and a half away. And you guys only have about like a week left before you get ready to go. But this is only about 3 days.
Wraith and Neris could take it.
Yes, I think still the time it takes to like fly there and back is probably a little too long.
Could I get to the floating city? Is that
You guys have the coin to get back there at any point in time,
Only have one.
but you only have one. So when you're going back, like I think everybody that's here right now is going back.
Yeah, we can't
If that makes sense.
make the things we need to.
Yeah, because it's like the city's like floating above, and there's a coin that they use dropped in water, and it creates a portal. It's like a one-way to get to
You
the
can't fly to it because you can't find it.
Could I buy a coin while I was there?
They're only given to people like I don't want to say special, but you get like one per group pretty much to come back. And you guys get one pretty much every time. Every time you come back, somebody has to go and get another coin to get back.
Okay.
Does anybody need this, or are we good?
Okay. Alright. Well, I'm gonna pull out the orb that I have, the dark orb,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna ask if do you have a safe place that I can keep this where it won't be disturbed?
What is it?
I'm not entirely sure, but
I'm not looking at.
it has a piece of the Harbinger inside of it.
well, I thought this was a safe place to store things.
Yeah, I mean, the vault is still untouched downstairs, but just kind of tap on it with my claw.
opens.
It's a dark black like marble pretty much, but it's about palm size.
I mean, I can put it into my bag. It's an extra dimensional space that only I really have access to.
Mind if I see it?
Yeah, take a look. I don't know what to make of it.
Just gonna look at it, see if you can like feel anything from it, or and then just attempt the psychometry on it, see if it does anything.
Okay. Yeah, doing a psychometry on it doesn't seem to do anything, at least to give you any sort of information, but your best guess, based on what he said, is that it's like a soul fragment. It's like jet black, like a jet black marble.
Well, if you're just going to keep it on your person, I'll keep it on mine for now. I don't know what this place
Well,
is.
if somebody is looking for it, they likely won't be able to see it in my bag.
Something like
So
this
if
should
they-
probably be in Tenebeth.
If they, well, that's a good idea too. It's, you know, a holy city. They guard relics and objects that might be evil or destroy them if necessary.
Tenebeth is also probably going to be the bastion of good when this new eradication comes, so it's probably the safest place for anything and anyone to be.
That's true. You could
Alright.
take it there. It's a short distance away.
Well,
You don't have to, but
I guess that's where I'm headed.
okay.
So I'm gonna I guess I tell them and then the rest of the group that I'm gonna leave for Tenebeth.
Are you aware of anyone that is like after that right now?
Nothing has come after us so far that I know of, alright?
No, I mean we haven't had any problems on our
I'm
journey.
not sure if you've seen visions or anything of anyone coming for it,
I
or
don't know.
All I know is that I sent the minion of the demon back to where he came from, and this was what was left. So something that I did, but I don't know yet how I did it.
okay.
Well,
I would say someone should go with you just to be safe, but
I don't know unless Neris, you want to go. She's probably not here. Unless you want to ask Neris to take you, that would probably shorten the journey.
Do I have to go on that flying thing?
It would be faster. You don't have to, I guess. It's like a 4-day journey versus like a 6-day journey. So.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna go and talk to Neris and see if she'll fly me there.
Yeah, she is above in the roost. Wraith's kind of circling around and lands into the roost. She's just sitting there with her arms crossed.
Neris, I need a favor.
All right.
I was talking to Azrael and Muldrak downstairs, and I pull out the orb, and they seem to think Tenebeth is the best place for this.
All right.
I don't know how to get there, and I'm told it's at least 4 days on the back of your beast.
All right. Sure. I guess we could fly again. Go to Tenebeth if you need to. We're just sitting around anyhow, so. Alrighty. It's much easier flying on Wraith's back than it is a Griffin, just because he's substantially larger. But it's still a little unsettling, to say the least. Get this out of the way. Also, it will take you.
Yeah, I was probably off. Timing a little bit, but
It'll only take you about 2 days to get to Tenebeth on Wraith's back. So there and back 4 days. Alright, so in those 2 days, if you guys would, or 4 days actually, you guys can make whatever checks as long as you guys are keeping track of everything. I trust you with whatever you're doing. So, Shalonia, we will just jump ahead to you in this little side mission.
I passed the threshold.
it's the 9th.
Of course, the succeed one I rolled in that 20, but it was disadvantage.
Oh, so you completed it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second too.
52.
Cool. Alright, Shalonia. On the second day, as you guys are landing in, you get to the front gate. There is really only one large enough gate that Wraith can fit through. It's the front one. The other side ones are just kind of like 2 man doors that open up. But as you get to the front gate and walk in, the rain starts to come down. You can hear thunder in the distance. It looks like it's rolling from the west and coming across to the east. But the rain is here now. It's a little chilly at some times, but it doesn't bother you too much, and you start to make your way into the city a little bit.
I've been here before.
You have been here,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
This is the one that there's a bunch of holy temples that all have their symbols and such around. You asked if you saw a symbol of Revan. There wasn't one anywhere around here.
Okay. I'm assuming me and Neris talked on the way. So do we have an idea of like who's the
You know
leader?
that in charge here, and you would have met her previously when you guys got all of your when your hit points and your constitution. were
Yeah.
reduced. The high priestess Kylaria, she's the one that is in charge. She's She lives within the gold-lit sanctum. It's this huge dome-shaped building that has like this glass roof. It's on the far side. It's like the largest structure here.
I'm gonna head towards there. Just
Okay.
straight there.
All right. With the overcast and everything, the rain coming down, you start to make your way forward and towards the gold-lit sanctum. Once you get inside, you can still hear the rain trickling down against the stone and the glass roof. Standing kneeled before this bit of a shrine that's in the center here. You see the shrine is like a heart that has 3 of these rays coming off the top part of it. This symbol is a symbol of Ephiel, the god of like love and life. You, walking forward, can see kneeling down and praying there is High Priestess Kylaria. She is a kind of like half-elven woman. She has pointed ears, but they're not quite large. Her hair is this kind of deepish silvery yellow color almost. It's almost like a so blonde it looks white type of deal. She has dark skin. The tattoos on her arms are just like these golden bands that circle all the way down to her hands and then kind of come off to her fingertips. She wears this brightish white kind of kimono type robe, but it's a little longer and has a bit more of a tightness on the collar part instead of it being, or the wristlet part, instead of it being like really droopy. It's more tight around her wrists. She stands and kind of turns and looks and sees you. Doesn't say anything. She's just looking at you.
So I go over and I take like a medium-sized like head bow. High Priestess, I was hoping we could speak somewhere privately.
Certainly. You're a friend of the Keepers, if I remember, yes?
Yes, that's me.
Right. Alright. This way. She turns and gestures her head over towards this right tunnel that you can see. There's 2 pathways. There's like a hallway on the left and the right. She guides you down this right pathway. The entire interior here is built out of stone, and you can see in the stonework there's these kind of engraved and carved out little writings and scripts, and then there's gold ink etched into it, so when the sun kind of hits it reflects, but with the overcast the way it is right now, it's just a little dim inside, and there's a couple of sconces on the walls that are lit. But she brings you down this pathway into a chamber room that she opens up, kind of gestures you in and closes the door. Inside of here is very minimal. There's one little round half table. It's not even like a dining table. It's like an end table, and then 2 chairs next to it, along with a bed at the side, and then a small shrine on the wall with underneath that a bookshelf that has a bunch of prayer books. But she sits down into one of the chairs and then gestures over to the next one for you to sit.
So I'll go sit down and then I'll pull out of my satchel and with the orb in my hand, I'll kind of say it and reveal it slowly. And I was told that that you might know better what this is or how to use it.
She just kind of gestures, takes it. Very dark, whatever it is. Innately evil. Not too powerful, but strong enough. She kind of sets it for a second before, like, placing her hand above and around it. It appears to be the soul of a shadow demon, but imprisoned somehow, some sort of a way.
Well, I believe I was the one who imprisoned it, but I don't know how. I was hoping to find some sort of clarity on this, because the second calling is happening, and this could be a useful skill for us.
Yes, it is. I'll give that to you. I've heard tell of people with your certain ability to do that, I guess. A soul keeper, if you would. You have a strong connection to people and their true self, if you would. I feel just by looking into your eyes that you see through a lot of things. You're able to cut the veil and see past everything that disguises what we truly are. your ability to be able to imprison that soul is beyond me, but essentially, from what I've read and know about, that's all you've really done there is imprisoned it. Typically, when things die, they return to whatever plane of alignment they're leaning towards. Evil ends up to the hells, or whatever plane they're originally from. Sometimes creatures that come here from the Fae, if they are to die, they end up back within the Feywild. Not alive within the Feywild, but at rest there. You've pretty much put whatever creature that is in some sort of a purgatory.
So it won't. It's not in hell. It's here on this plane, just trapped.
Very much so.
Okay.
It has its uses. I knew that before there were some priestess of Cabraxith that had these abilities. It's a magic that's long been forgotten and unused for reasons unknown to me, but some of these priests would use this for, say, interrogation type reasons, or studying, trying to figure out weaknesses of certain creatures. A bit cruel in my opinion, but I understand the necessity of it.
My other question is, I see all these temples to all these gods, but not mine. Do you know of Revan?
I do not. And I've been around for quite some time.
Says Zaxria. Well, I appreciate your knowledge, but maybe once all this is over, I can come back and I can add.
That would be good.
I'm just gonna give a little bow, like a thank you, and then just
Chelonia,
yes.
take care of yourself and just know that the things that you are knowledgeable in can be dangerous, not used properly, but I sense a great good in you, so I do not fear that, but stay the course.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
She gives a nod. You walk out the door and close it behind you before exiting.
I'm gonna head back to Neris and see if she's ready to go back.
Yeah. Her and Wraith are actually inside the sanctum, out of the rain, just kind of sitting, and then they see you and... Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Very well. Alright. You step out into the rain and start to fly. It's a little uncomfortable. If you have some sort of a hood or something, you kind of cover your face, especially with a little bit of the wind that's coming down in the cooler weather.
Head's in the
Just
shell.
tuck your head in the shell. But you're able to get back to the estate within the next 2 days or so. It actually takes you 3 just because of the rain that's coming down, and Wraith actually has to land down, and you guys set up some sort of a camp and rest for the night before picking back up and getting ready to go over the next 2 days.
I did 4 days worth. Should I do a 5th day?
Yeah, I would do a 5th day.
I did not do more days for the ammo.
79, so there. I'll tell you how much ammo I need.
13.
Yeah, what day is it?
So
Well, 4 days?
What was the priest's name that you said
14th?
from?
There were priests of Cabraxith. Cabraxith is a deity.
What was the 9th?
Yeah, so it would be the 13th.
Okay.
When Neris and Chelonia get
12,
back.
10, 19.
12, 10, 19. All successes.
Oh, I should have asked this. Does the Tenevat have temple for?
They do.
The new one?
Okay, so with the point that we are at right now, you guys will be getting back to, or we're supposed to go back to Arkanray on the 14th. I think that was the original plan, if I'm not mistaken, was to be back there at that day. Because that would have been roughly 2 weeks beforehand.
Right.
So, before we do that, we're going to go over to Ander here
19 ammo. I kept rolling really low, but I still ended up making a decent amount.
Well, I guess it would have to be 17 because I only had 21 casings.
Oh, okay.
4 from you the other day, then.
Well, I could have just put those points towards the big ammo casings.
Okay, doing the rifles next, which are 2 per piece.
So it would just be one of the big ones then.
Okay. So all these are actual bullets.
That was 19 points.
Okay, Andrew. It is the 10th of Abereth right now. You are in Southbrook. You've exited the portal that leads to here. You said that you were leaving like 3 days before everybody was supposed to be there, so you're like there 3 days beforehand. So it's like the 10th or 11th, whichever you choose, whatever you want to do. But the sun is beating down on the city. It's probably a good 77 or so degrees. It's much warmer here than it is in Ophelia. It's nice to actually feel the actual intensity of the sun. It's much more dulled when you're in Archenoria due to the magical dome that surrounds the city. You can hear gulls kind of squawing out. There's boats creaking in the dock that's over just south of where you are. You've just stepped out of a rock kind of formation where you can see this little circle is carved into the side of the sand here, the sandstone. There's a like a lighthouse directly above you, and you can see that there are stairs down some sort of a path that leads up that will bring you into the kind of dock type district here in Southbrook. For you to do as you wish.
Probably head up.
All right.
It's you said dock district, like
Yeah, so you're on the northeastern part of Southbrook right now. So there's a central market area, and there's like the docks that are all there. So everything's kind of broken up into wards. There's the lighthouse ward that has the dock, the market, and then all of the residential area. And then there's that northern naval ward. Then there's the central ward, which is just like the fishing market, tavern, and all that stuff. And then the Crown's ward and military ward.
There's 3.
Does anybody like sell like smaller boats around here?
Yeah.
Probably look around for one of the, like maybe just like a fishing boat.
Okay.
Somebody, if there's somebody like look like they're about to go out or something.
Okay, yeah, once you're actually by that path, you can see that there's somebody who's probably only like 30 or so feet off of the shore, just kind of sitting in his boat with a pole, and is just letting the waves kind of take him, and he's trolling along. There's a moment where you kind of make eye contact with him, and he just does like a brief wave before slightly putting his head back down unless you shout to him.
He's already in the water?
Yeah, but he's only like 40 feet or so from like the rocks, and the waves don't seem too crazy right now.
Hey, is there any way I could talk to you really quick?
Yeah, just give me a second here. I'll paddle my way in. Are you all right?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question. That was it.
Yeah, sure. It's a little hard. He just kind of paddles forward. I'll meet you down here.
Oh,
And he
okay.
kind of paddles over towards a little bit of
my way over there.
underneath the dock where it's a little less choppy. He kind of gets up. You can see he's a little older. Kind of adjusts himself on the seat. Grabs a rope and throws it around one of the posts and kind of pulls it, does a quick knot in it, and tightens it up.
Oh, have you ever heard of Redwater? Like the island?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Have you ever, like, been over there?
No, I haven't. I usually stay around the edges of the city and fish about. It's about a day or so to Redwater from here.
Oh, it is a little farther there than I thought it was. I guess you probably couldn't get me there with this. Never mind. Sorry for bothering you.
No, it's no trouble. If you want to go, we can arrange something. I'm just a lonely old man. I don't really do much anyhow, so...
Do like that shit.
There might be good fish over there. Good for the market.
I can give you a little gold. I don't have much. For
Gold
me.
works, yeah. We can do that.
I only have like 10 on me.
Sure.
I give him 10 gold. So you can get me to Redwater?
Let's give it a go. Why don't we?
Okay. Thank you.
He helps you get up onto the boat, starts kind of paddling, gets out into the water a little bit. So, boy, what's your name?
Ander Wetfoot.
Ander Wetfoot. The name sounds familiar.
Probably.
You got a father or something in the city?
No, I'm actually from Redwater.
Ah, right. All right. He keeps.
I am also a keeper. I don't know if you.
That's
heard
what
of
it is. I knew there was something. That's what it is. Right. Well, it's an honor.
Never been on, like, I don't mean to be, like, rude or anything, but, like, this small of a boat. Usually on.
He kind of taps the side, and she does well enough.
It's pretty nice.
Keeps paddling and going along. The name's Raj, if you
Oh,
were
so,
going to
yeah,
ask. Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Raj for short. Full name's Roger.
Okay.
Friends call me Raj.
Raj, for the shorter version is
Roger.
Raj.
Yes.
And he's
Roger.
got a friend named Murtaugh.
He keeps paddling and.
So why are we shortening it for like the one letter or whatever?
What?
It's never mind.
Sorry, I can't hear very well.
It's okay. It didn't matter.
Right. What?
I didn't say anything this time.
Got it. Keeps paddling along. Probably about a dozen or so more times during that day. He just heard, what?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Ah,
I didn't
right.
say anything.
What?
I really am not even talking.
Sorry.
I'm looking at the water.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
enjoying my
Okay.
time here.
Yes. What?
Did you say something?
Did I?
I think you might have. You don't remember?
Do you mind taking over paddling?
I guess.
Just head right into the sun. It's pretty much where we're heading, east.
Alright. I'll start paddling.
I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit.
He's going to sleep. I'm gonna be stuck in the middle of the ocean. I paid him for this labor.
The waves are splashing a bit. You can feel the boat kind of rocking about, and it gets to a point where you are now in familiar water, I'd say. It's a bit comforting, but at the same time, you feel like this pit in your stomach as you're getting closer. You can see as you are approaching that there are small little huts that are set up. The last time you were here, everything was pretty much on fire and in shambles and broken. You can see that the island that it rests upon, the sand is like this deep kind of maroonish red color. It's unlike most of all of the other islands that are throughout Southbrook. They usually have like the whitish fine sand that you find. But the island itself is this deep reddish maroon kind of sand. It doesn't look like a blood kind of sand. It's just kind of like a maroon, like a reddish brown, if you would, almost like clay. And you can see the water that sits around it has this bit of a red tinge to it, which gives the island its name, Redwater. Once you get a little closer, Roger at this point is kind of oaring and paddling forward. Hey, I do believe that there's Redwater.
It does seem to be.
Yeah, well, let's bring it on in. He kind of goes over and you can see a little bit of a dock that's made. As you're approaching, you can see from where you're at, looks like two kids are standing on the dock, kind of just walking back and forth. One of them has a little bit of a sack thrown over their shoulder. It actually looks like a fishing net. There's a bunch of fish inside of it that seem to be kind of moving around. Oh, look at that haul, huh? He kind of paddles up towards the dock
Maybe
a
there
little
are
bit
good
more.
fish here.
The other individual has a blade in one hand. It kind of looks like a little bit of maybe like a meat cleaver. And the other individual that slams down the fish, you can see that he brought him over from a boat that seemed to be over on the side. It's kind of almost like not a long ship, but like a long canoe boat, if anything, with higher sides to have more of like a deep hull to it. But as he brings him over and sets him down, you can see as you're getting a little closer that they are not kids. They appear to be halflings. And it looks like as you're looking more throughout the village itself, everybody here is a halfling. nobody that you really recognize. A lot of people that are here, you can see, much like what it was like for you growing up here, everybody here just seems to not really do anything but kind of fish and figure out what they're going to do for the day. There is, you can see on the actual dock itself, there's a very, very janky contraption of something that's just kind of resting at the front part of the dock, and it looks to be some sort of a pulley system where there was a net probably fashioned on it at one point, kind of like how a gill net would work, and you just kind of set it out, but this one gets kind of tossed out, and then you remember that you and Sandon actually made this and set it here, and were able to like use it to like crank fish in, and it kind of brings back a little bit of nostalgia as you're riding up to it and you see it. Standing on the dock, Raj is like shaking his arm as he's trying to like get up onto the dock, and he gets up. Oh, thanks, my boy. And then he kind of gets up and on. Oh, I'm gonna go see what kind of things I can find and get into around here. Maybe relax for a bit. Oh, how long you planning on staying?
Probably only for the day or whatever.
All right. Well, I'm in no hurry. Maybe I can do some fishing off the shore here, find a fish or two.
Okay. Well, you have fun relaxing.
Right, and you have fun doing whatever it is you're going to do. As you are sitting there, the two people that are on the dock, you can see that they're both halfling individuals. One of them has kind of longer black hair over to the sides. The other individual, is shorter hair, almost like buzz cut, but you can see a little bit of length on top that causes it to look like there's just like a lot of colic everywhere. But he has a headband on that's going across, it's tied in the back. You can see that he's chewing on some sort of like a longer palm frond type of plant that he's just like biting at it. You can see the stem of it's pretty thick, he's just kind of chewing on it and then spitting on the ground. The two of them together, one of them is just kind of like pulling fish out and smacking it onto the small crate or something that's there, and the other one's just like whack, like smacking off fish heads and then slamming them down into the water. And then you can see where he's slamming them down in the water, there's like 20 or so seagulls that are just like swooping down and all trying to get after it, and they're just kind of sitting there. The one of them kind of looks over. Hey,
how's it going?
It's good. Who are you?
That's kind of rude, but
Oh, I mean, we know every halfling from this side of the island to the other side of the island, and I've never seen you.
I've been gone from here for a while.
You have a beard, man.
Yeah, it's a magical beard, pretty much.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
You said you haven't been here in a while?
Yeah, it's been like 15 years, probably, somewhere around there.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've probably only been back here in Redwater for maybe 8.
Sounds about right. Makes sense. What'd you guys do here?
We're just bringing in the hull for the day.
Okay.
Some good old sea bass.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Something you need, friend?
I don't know what I was actually doing here, but thought I'd come back. That's a free time.
15 years ago.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe it's more like 13.
Hmm.
You guys hear about like a pirate attack or something?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I just didn't want to bring it up, you know?
That was a while ago. You guys have stories written about it or something here?
Smacks the head off another fish.
Nice.
No, it's just, you look really familiar, though. Maybe somebody you might know. Anyway, Charlene, she's the only one who was really around during the times.
Well, I remember Charlene.
You remember a Charlene being like one of the older women that was within the village during that time. You think you could put a name to the face if you saw a face, but she's not like somebody you were super close with or anything.
Fair. Is like, there's no like. Somebody from here is like now a keeper. You guys hear about that?
You're under Wetfoot?
Yeah.
Holy,
That's me.
wow. By Thassa, I'd be damned. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, everybody hears stories about keepers, and then we heard Wetfoot, and Charlene, she knew that your dad, he was the Wetfoot guy.
Yeah. What guy?
Yeah. But the thing is like, you know, technically we're all Wetfoots because we're a part of the tribe and such, but we all have our own lives. But yeah, wow. Only Wetfoots come from Redwater, and
That is true. Not wrong.
so you're here on keeper business?
No.
I was gonna say
Not
there's
right now.
really nothing that goes on around here.
Just visiting.
All right. Well, the name's Jack.
Nice to meet you, Jack.
Yeah.
Point to the other guy.
Nikolai.
Oh, okay. You don't talk?
He's just.
He's dead. So I have to be louder, or should I just leave it alone?
That's not how deaf people work.
Oh, he did. Like, he really can't hear
Yeah, he
anything.
was when he was a baby, fell in the water for a while and got some water in his ear and
Oh.
did some damage or something. I don't remember what exactly.
Wait, you only got it in one ear, but you can't hear from both?
Both ears. Although other people say somebody put a stick in there too far, and maybe the only thing that didn't get messed up was his hearing.
Or the only thing that didn't get messed up
Right.
was his hearing? Is he... So he's not
No,
deaf?
he's
just
actually.
stupid?
No, he's deaf. He's deaf.
Is he stupid?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not.
Oh, okay.
And then he just kind of stares. Then he's like,
Well,
grabs another fish and smacks it in front of him.
I'll let you get back to work. Sorry for intruding, I guess.
No, if you want me to bring you back in there, give you a quick. I mean, I'm sure you've been here, but things are a little different.
They do seem a little bit...
I don't remember what it was like before, but
Kind of the same, just like different layout.
yeah. So, if do you want me to go with you, or
It's up to you.
sure, yeah.
Thanks.
Then he just like. So, since you've been gone, actually, a lot of the halflings that are here now are actually Sandfoots. We all came from Southbrook. We were a little small population there, and then Charlene had came over. She's really the only Wetfoot that's really here. She had come over and told us about Redwater. You know, after so many years of it being abandoned, we re-inhabited it, built some things up, got some new shacks and huts going.
So where'd you guys like actually like come from in Southbrook?
In Southbrook,
Yeah.
there's like a small little island that's pretty much Southbrook, but it's just like Southbrook adjacent, if you would. So it's just like Southbrook, you know.
Southbrook adjacent. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're Southbrook adjacent people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Do you guys all migrate over here, or is it just like
There's a
little
lot of
bit?
us here. There's probably about 40 or so of us halflings here now.
Dang.
Yeah. I don't know how many were here before, but we're doing pretty good for the most part. It's quiet. We have a couple of people here who can take care of themselves and take care of us. They don't really have a name. They're just like, hey, help me, dude! And they run over and help us. Hey, help me, dude! We've been attacked by pirates here and there, and
Yeah.
that helps 9 times out of 10.
The hey help me here, dude.
Yeah. I could see how it would seem funny, but it's serious though. Like when stuff happens, and some things just come out and you don't mean it. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, but no, there's a couple of people here. You know, of the 40, they hold their own with the blade. Some pretty good with bows.
We probably should have been like that. That was probably like our downfall.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's why we are the way we are. You know,
Good.
just learning from I don't want to say past mistakes, but just, you just didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's fair.
Well, that's Charlene's tent right there, or hut, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
She should be inside.
So this is the end of the tour?
Oh, no, I was just saying that's Charlene's hut right there.
It kind of felt like you were like telling me I should go in there. So.
No, it's Charlene's hut.
Alright,
yeah, right. Okay.
I gotta go in. I should
Yeah, this, if you want to, there's a little hall over on the other side. It's pretty much like right at the edge there of the island, just before you get over into Dalmagus. So, there's a little bit of a gap there. I'm sure you know about it. But if you want, there's people in there all the time. Food, usually fish, sea bass.
That was a good guess. That was what I was thinking.
Right. Alrighty.
Alright.
Sugar root.
I could do some.
You can do the same thing that you saw the Nikolai chewing.
Alright, well, have a good day. Thank you for the little tour.
Yeah, you too. That's a bless you, man. It gives you a little bit of a wave.
And then I'll walk in.
Once you make your way inside, the hut itself is pretty modest. There's not a whole lot going on the inside. It seems that it is set up very homey. There is what you can see to be a small little wooden sculpture of like 3 little waves, like one big wave, a middle wave, and then a small wave underneath. You know that to be the holy symbol of Thassa, the god of the sea. Remember a lot of your people like worshiping her. You, walking in, can see that there is a shorter than you, almost like tiny, like to the point where her hands, pretty much like when she's at her sides, almost touch the ground because she's just kind of like hunched over. She has probably like a 4-inch cane that she's holding, that she's like making her way along with. She's pushing forward. You remember Charlene before, like when you were here? Charlene was quite old then. Now you can see that she has long hair down to like her mid-back. It's pulled into this kind of knotted up dreadlock. It's got streaks of gray going through it. Her eyebrows are bushy. Her nose is very, very tiny and like pushed to her face, almost like this little itty bitty of a protrusion that's there. And then she has like very, very thin lips and a mouth that's like very, very small in comparison to like a normal mouth. Like she just has this like very squinty face like this. You can see she squints even further, and then when she's squinting her eyes, her mouth like...
I'm totally really doing the halfling dirty with this one. That's crazy.
Talk to this person.
She obviously cannot see very well.
Charlene?
Yeah!
I don't know if you remember me, but it's Andrew Wetfoot.
Andrew?
Uh-huh.
Wow. You've got a beard.
I do have a beard. Pretty cool.
How are you?
What do you say?
How are you?
Pretty good, actually.
We heard you're a keeper.
That is true. I am a keeper now.
Come closer. My eyebrows hurt from squinting so much.
Like this close.
You look a lot like your father.
Do you have a beard, too?
No,
I can't really remember.
it's the same eyes. The kind eyes. The ones that look over people. Look out for yours. Sorry about all that mess that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Where you had a brother, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's actually kind of why I came back. We were supposed to go rescue him in like a week or 2, or like a week and a half.
Rescue him.
Yeah, the pirates that attacked us.
Right.
So they kidnapped both of us.
Oh dear.
I was on there for quite a while. I escaped, but he didn't. He's still with them.
Poor boys.
Yeah.
Well, if that's a bless you in what's to come, I'm sure you'll be alright. You made it this far and survived more than most.
That is true.
A lot of people here only know stories, none of them really lived it. It's very hard to see your home burn and people you love die. Are you hungry, kid? Feed you something, maybe?
Maybe a little bit.
Alright, I'll whip something up. She starts making food. She struggles here and there with things like shaking, and you just kind of walk over and help, and she gives this like squinted smile. She sits down and sets the plate before you and kind of leans back a little bit in the chair. You can see that she's been kind of hunched over and at this point is now like just hunched back. Like she's still hunched but just leans back a little bit and then gives a stretch. Oh, yeah. Right. So, what brings you to Redwater?
Just came back to see how the island was, pretty much.
We're doing quite good now. Definitely could use a man like your father. He could keep things in order.
You got a crush on my dad.
And your mother, the way she could cook, I swear, you could use it sometimes. Me, half the time, I don't know what it is I'm putting in things. I just can't see them well, you know?
It's like a rock in here.
I just look at the bowl of food in front of me.
There's like a fish-like type of soup that's in front of you. You can see what looks to be some sort of like a chopped up vegetable. It could be like maybe an onion or like a scallion, which would just be a green onion, but you know what I mean?
Well, this looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll try it.
Alright. You try it. It's not bad.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good too.
Well, good.
Was thinking about hanging out at the beach for a while. For pretty much the reason I came back. Just remember that.
Well, I'll let you do that, but before you do, I have something you might want.
Oh.
She kind of walks over.
Boo, boo, boo!
As she starts to walk over, she has this little, what looks like a jewelry box. It's probably about this big. She just, with one hand on it, like holding it, takes the cane and is making her way over. And then like...
I'll grab it.
And then she sits back down in the chair with a...
What is this?
When all of that was going on, I did what I could when I was trying to escape. I remember swimming until I was found at sea. But I grabbed a box, and I grabbed up whatever I could of whoever I could, belongings of our people and whatever it may have been. That ring was your father's.
Open the box.
You open it up and you can see that it's just like a ring that has the symbol of Thassa on it. It's got like all the waves, so it's just like this circular. It's not like big and gaudy, but the details are fine enough to where you can make out what it is. It's made of like a bronze type of metal. He was persistent on us trying to find you. It was me and one other. She didn't make it, but he kept asking, "Where's Sandon? Where's Ander? Where's Sandon? Where's Ander?" And he ended up right then and there, passing in front of my eyes. But I took the ring and some belongings from others that I saw. And some of them I returned to their families that survived them, but I never got to give you his ring, so you have it now.
Well, thank you for this.
I'm sure he's very proud along with your mother.
I would hope so.
At least something to remember him by, I guess.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. Means a lot.
You're welcome.
No. Give her a hug.
She, oh, that's nice. Thank you. Feel her pat your back.
Alright. I think we'll go to the beach for a while. Thank you for your hospitality, though.
Thank you for all the things you do. And coming back. It means a lot seeing you and knowing there's more than just a few of us. You wouldn't happen to have any kids, would you?
No. No,
Be a great way to make more wet foots.
We'll see, maybe one day.
She's a left foot.
Alright, you make your way out and walk over to the beach. The sand is like pretty dense. The sun itself is starting to set over to your right as you walk out. Just kind of make your way over to the beach. Sit down and lean against it and kind of look around. You can see over to the side there's like this little bit of a hill, if you would. And you remember this hill that's right there that you and Sandon kind of like dug out a little bit of like a trench and a hole that would lead inside of it. It looks like the water may have like pushed some sand and shifted it back up, so it's no longer there. But you can like envision the two of you like running over and like hiding in it and running around, and your dad or your mom yelling for you, and you guys just like snickering underneath it, like hiding out. Look around the beach itself and you can see places where you guys would have sat and just kind of talked about what you were going to do in the future, and then looking around and maybe you made like a sandcastle over here or something. And the trees that are kind of overarching, they're not the same exact trees. Maybe some of them grew and some of them fell over, but you remember like throwing stones up at coconuts or something to knock them down and grab them. You look off into the distance and you're kind of like close your eyes and remember the last memory that you really have decent of Sandon. The two of you just kind of laying in the sand after a day of just doing the normal revelry and tomfoolery that you would have done. And him just kind of like looking over. You know, one day we'll get off this island, Ander. And when we do, we're gonna do some cool stuff, man. And then it's almost like you saw him sitting next to you and he just kind of fades away with the wind. Take a breath. Think about him. And think that you gotta get back to Southbrook. You gotta start preparing. And that you're that close to being able to see him again.
Yeah, I'll probably just hang out on the beach until the end of the day.
Yeah.
And sleep there and then head back.
It's nice and silent. Before you hear Mr. Wetfoot?
Oh. Yeah.
What?
Hello?
What?
Hello?
Hey, I'm looking for you. You ready to go? It's getting quite dark. I don't want to be,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, at least if we get a head start before the sun's totally down, we'll be alright.
Alright.
Have a good direction, at least. He turns around and... What?
I didn't say anything.
Right. And then he turns back and goes over towards the boat.
Those waffles just guessing.
I'll take a handful of sand.
Okay.
Put it in my pocket.
Right. We're going to be getting that stand out for the next 3 years. Alright, so... As you start sailing back there, Ander, when you get back, where are you heading?
Probably the Citadel of Sand. Trying to get a room.
Alright. Okay, just to move things along here, to get to the point where I want to be for next week. So, for you guys right now, it's the 13th, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Alright, so...
Oh, do we have one more day?
Yes. If there's something you wanted to do before you would go to Arkanoria, and then from Arkanoria to Southbrook, because I think that's going to be the play there, was you guys were doing what you had to do, and then from Arkanoria to Southbrook.
Yeah.
And then...
I would have just spent the day before in crafting then. And then I would go on the 14th to go and pick up the potions.
Okay.
6. Sleep. That's good.
Are you bringing the gun with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna fashion
What,
fashion some sort of
So this last
strap
do you
on
want
my
me to
back.
work on? You want me to work on new gun ammo or old
The rifle.
rifle?
Yeah.
So I would have made. Oh, I can go again. I'll see if I
I
can.
made 3 rifles today.
Oh fuck! I can't see what that is. 4. Gotta do it at disadvantage. I made 1 at least. Still pretty good. 15. So that's another 2. So I made 2 of the rifle.
5. So that's plus 6. Made 4. Made 4 pop cans.
All right. You said that you went over, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say with that extra, you could make some sort of a. I don't know if you want like a big strap or if you. What are you trying to construct?
No. I don't know how thick the backpacks are, but you probably have put like some like metal straps fastened to the top of the backpack. Might be awkward
so it
going
just
for
goes
doors,
across.
but yeah.
Okay, and then you just like snap
Yeah.
it down, right? Okay.
Send the crossbows hanging on one side, and the rifle components are in the bag to be assembled. The revolver's in the holster.
All right.
I'm gonna check on the flour with when Maldrak goes back to the shop.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so before you guys leave, Azrael walks out. You guys are out getting your things prepared, your backpack, a couple of rations of food. From the house, I would say each person can grab 2 days of rations.
Okay.
Those will just be like if you think you're going to need them, but you're assuming that on the boats they'll have all of that shit prepared.
Okay.
But you guys will each have 2 days of rations that you can bring if you want to. But you get your packs all set up and put together, and Azrael comes walking out like holding the backpack, and you can see extending out probably like a good foot or so off of each side, and the barrel on it about yay big. The stock on it is a little larger than a normal rifle would be, but the fully constructed gun is sitting on the back of the backpack, and he's kind of adjusting it here and there. He can feel the weight of it, and then you can see on the side of the backpack, almost like where you would slide like a bottle into the side of a backpack. There's just this huge bullet that's sitting there on the side of it, and then the other ones are probably somewhere else. But he's just walking out.
God, that thing's a portable cannon.
That's kind of what I was going for. I only made 4 though, so I can't really test it.
Right. Hopefully it doesn't blow up.
Yeah. Hopefully it blows up on them and not me.
You know, like on the intended person, right? That would be ideal. Well, we're gonna need it, so hopefully it works.
Can I see that whole watermelon? I didn't get fucking any.
Might be able to just like breach a hole in some wall or whatever.
With a bullet that size, you probably could.
If we need to go into like the captain's quarters or something.
Right. Blow the door clean off.
Yeah.
Alright, well, everybody ready? Is ready to head
How was
back?
the flour?
Once you guys are still in the estate, you're getting ready to go to the
gotcha,
city.
gotcha. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Go ahead, Azrael. Toss the coin. Want me to get it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Rifle, man.
You open the backpack and there's like a barrel, a stock, the middle body
I'm like
part.
digging in the
There's like a
bottom,
clip.
trying to find a coin.
There's bullets jangling around it. You're like reaching on the inside.
I think nope, that's a bullet.
And then you grab like this case and you pop it and there's like cigars and you fucking shit. And you just keep going through. There's like a bottle of liquor and you're like, what the
Have
fuck?
like
You
a
got
pouch
this?
for the coin.
No.
And then you feel it and boop,
Alright, well. Just flip it into the
flip it in,
sanctuary.
and then you guys walk through. Making your way through, if we could skip ahead to where you guys are getting ready to go into Southbrook. I'll get to your guys' with the potion and such. But Chelonia goes with you in order to procure the potions. You kind of just let Connor know that you're here and that you guys are going to go to the portal and everyone will meet there, but you're going to stop and get the potions. You make your way in and Gita kind of looks over.
Hello.
Moldrak.
How's it going?
It's good. Really good, actually.
Oh.
Right, yeah. I got all of the potions good and go.
Great.
There is 11 of them.
11, okay, hang on. Yeah.
I know I only said I could probably do 10,
Right.
but I managed 11.
I don't know. Oh, did I just write them down already?
Yeah, you already.
Okay. No, I bought 10, and then she had
Oh, I
more.
thought you already wrote. Yeah, you should have had 20, but now it'll be 21.
Okay. Total, including the 10 I bought. Okay, so
Correct.
I just need to add
When
10.
they were going there, I would have just gone and got another coin.
Okay. Yeah, you could do that.
Right, 25. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Also, the wilt root that you brought me was definitely something I've never dealt with before.
Yeah.
But
That's fair, right? I don't know.
But
many.
I was able to get one potion out of it,
Okay.
and based on what I did from a preliminary test with the drop,
Okay.
here I'll just show you.
Alright.
She grabs, kind of takes. It's a little fucked up at first when you start to like look at what she's doing, but she goes to the back and you notice that there's like this door that she opens up, and there's like mice and birds and stuff all inside of here. She pulls out a rat that she kind of sets down, and you can see the rat is just like lethargic, like it's still like breathing a little bit. She takes like this little dropper that she reaches into the potion with, and then drops it onto the rat. It hits just like the side of its face and then drips over into the mouth, and you watch it go from like lethargic to like wide awake and kind of sits up and then walks around as like and like moving about normally.
Wow. That's powerful stuff.
That rat had a very strong poison inside of it. A poison that would floor, I'm pretty sure, an elephant.
Okay.
She grabs the potion and lifts it up. You can see that it is just this deep purple color, and it's just like slightly pulsing with some sort of energy. It's in a really strong glass vial, so it won't break, but you got one use out of it.
Okay. One Wiltroot potion.
I have the item already made.
Okay.
I just have to print it off.
You're good. That's fine.
But
I don't need it now, obviously.
Right now.
I
Or do
will
we
tell
have to
you
pop it right
exactly
now?
what it does in case I ever forget to do it and you guys have to use it.
Sure. Potion.
Items. Alright, so when you consume this potion, you are immediately restored to full hit points. Any poisons and diseases are cured immediately. When you consume this potion, roll a d100. Consult the DM only on a roll of 1.
So restored to full HP, cured diseases and poisons.
In retrospect, we were at the house for a while. I kind of forgot. Could one of us have seen the portal progress?
They wouldn't have been there working on it in the time
Okay,
that you
fired.
were there. She had some other stuff that she was doing before.
Okay.
She didn't even start on it yet.
Was
Yeah.
it like a room that we could
There's-
see like glyphs on the floor or anything? Or?
So inside of the study, like where the getting home?
Sounds like her. Thought I heard her voice.
Can you run out and help her grab some shit really quick? She's texting me and said she's got a bunch of shit. But yes, in the study, like where all the bookshelves are, there are glyphs that are starting to be made on the ground. but there's like a project that she's doing in between, so she's not like fully working on it. But you think the last time she probably would have been when the guards were there at some point or another. So there's progress on it, but it's still, regardless of what is going on with her, it will still take the year. It's not going to be any longer.
Okay.
So you know that there is progress on it. Okay. Jesus. You guys jump ahead. All of you arriving in Southbrook and are already being here. The weather is warm, probably about high 70s or so. Slight breeze is kind of blowing off the sea over the chain of islands. You can hear gulls flying over all parts of the city. The streets themselves are bustling, and there's sounds of creaking masts and chiming ship bells. You smell fish in your nose. As you make your way up that step, up the steps to the docks, you can see that there are a lot of people doing a lot of different things. There are ships that are actually going around from the dock here to the naval ward and like being let in and delivering supplies just from where you are. Like you can see them coming around and going into it. There are a lot more people out and about working. Where specifically are you heading?
Probably to the Citadel of Sand, I guess. Is that where we should go, Connor?
Yeah, probably.
Alright. We'll head there then.
I think, hopefully Ander stayed there, I believe.
I
Told
know.
him to go there if he needed a place to stay.
He's already here. Okay. Go. Alright. We can head there.
Alright, as you're making your way through the little central market district here, you pass the general goods store where you can see a familiar face of a man approaching you. He's very hard to miss, very large individual. Clyde Glenderby, a large, joyous man. He's the one that had smuggled Apex into the military ward originally. He smiles and kind of has his large hands outstretched, reaching out. Keepers of Zaxria, the mightiest of heroes. Why, I do hope this is a friendly visit to Southbrook.
Clyde, yes?
Good. But I'm glad I saw you guys. I just wanted to thank you again for what you did for Southbrook.
Oh, you know.
Things have never been better.
Connor's home is, our home.
Yeah. Well, I won't keep you. You look like you're heading somewhere. But if you ever need anything from Glenderby's Goods, 50% discount.
50%? Wow. That's generous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. He turns around and grabs like a big old wagon and starts to roll it.
Have a good day.
You guys make your way to the Citadel of Sand. Ander, since you were here, you were put into a very nice room. You've been in it for about 3 days, or 2 days now, actually. No, it'd be like a day that you would have been, so overnight, just because it would have taken you a day to Redwater and a day back. So this day, you would have been supplied with food, a nice hot bath to be able to, relax and calm down. The previous ruler, Prescott. I always forget if it's Lucian or Alton. Yes, thank you. Alton Prescott goes over towards you as you're like kind of approaching into the Citadel. You get brought back to the central like council chambers, and he sets you up in a room, lets you know that when the time comes and you guys are all ready to find Captain Fletcher in the military ward. At this point, you guys would have arrived to the Citadel. The two guards standing there. Keepers, good to see you. We've been expecting you.
Great.
Things are moving along quickly. Captain Wetfoot is inside. I'll retrieve him for you and let him know that you're here.
Great. Should we just wait here?
Yeah. I'm sure that everyone's getting ready for things to start moving along, so
Okay.
no time to waste.
I agree.
He turns around and makes his way inside. There's like a...
Yeah, what?
Sir, Captain Wetfoot.
Captain Ander, Wetfoot.
Captain Ander Wetfoot, sorry, sir.
What's up?
The rest of the keepers have arrived. They're outside of the
Okay.
gates here.
Oh, they're here already?
Yes, they're waiting
What
for you.
day is it?
The 14th of Avaret.
It's already the 14th. Oh, okay. Alright, thank you. Be out there in a second.
Yes, Captain Ander, sir.
Captain.
Yes, Captain Ander Wetfoot, sir.
This close.
He makes his way out.
He was almost dead.
Captain Ander Wetfoot will be out here shortly, sir.
Okay.
Then he just kind of stands militantly. Ander makes his way out. You can see his beard is combed nicely to his face. His hair is pulled back in the ponytail. You can see that there's like a little bit of a cut to it to where it's a lot cleaner on the sides. His head on the sides is a little bit shaved down to where it's almost like a fade. His hat looks like it's nice and pripped up. His coat is like steamed, pressed. His boots have been polished. He walks out and kind of holds the sides of his vest.
Looks like you've been at the spa.
It's been a good couple days, not gonna lie.
And he's just got one button unbuttoned at the top where there's a little bit of the white blouse underneath, or white tunic shirt.
I only have the tunic on, and when I was growing a beard, I run so hard.
He's got a chest. Alright, well, what do we do? What's the plan?
I'm gonna be honest, I came here and didn't talk a single. I did talk to Prescott. What's his first name? Alton?
Okay, yeah, the guy who was the
Yeah,
king.
and he said when we're ready to go talk to Fletcher.
Okay.
I don't know if they're done or
Are we
anything.
ready?
I'll be honest, we didn't really talk
Are you
about
ready?
anything. I'm ready.
Yeah, you've only been here for a night, so.
Okay. Well, let's just go then.
They
Let's
just
not
seem-
waste any more
Seem
time.
to put me up in a room and say when you're ready to go meet him. So.
Okay. Alright, well, let's go. You lead the way,
He should be in the naval ward.
right? Probably hangs out
Yep,
there.
it's just right over to the right from where you are.
Okay. You gonna make any stops while you're here? Okay. How's the spell coming along?
I almost got it.
Okay.
It's pretty tricky.
Well, we got time. I'm sure we'll be traveling for a bit on the sea, so.
All right. Making your way over to the military ward in the docks here. Now that you're over here, you can see that there is a lot of commotion. Good commotion, though, I'd say. Dock workers and soldiers alike working to outfit several galleons. You can see the crates are being slid onto large pallets that are strapped onto horses being pulled toward the ships and even onto the ships. There's long enough gangplanks and wide enough for horses with carts to fit up onto them. The sun is glistening against the metals and illuminates the sweat that drips from the brows of the busy men and women scurrying about. The clouds slightly come in, giving some shade, and a bit less intense heat as the rays are no longer blistering onto them. Continue your way through the ward. Here you can see several weapon crates being filled with scrap metals, copper coins, broken objects, and essentially just junk. And you watch about 30 or so crates like this get put on a cargo ship that's within the same area as the fleet itself. You can see standing aboard a galleon that's over to the side there, Captain Fletcher. He stands with a sense of pride as he watches the fleet being readied for battle. He grins without his teeth, and a pipe rests on the edge of his lips as its smoke kind of slowly plumes from it. His bald head.
Because he doesn't have teeth, or
It's more like a
okay, just making
Like a-
sure. Just
like a
checking.
Popeye kind of deal.
Does Popeye have teeth?
His bald head, full white beard, and strong physique rest beneath blue cotton pants and a half-buttoned, kind of unbuttoned white long-sleeve tunic. His attire is not flashy by any means, and you've never seen it in such a fashion, but you can kind of expect it for the stage that he's in right now and preparing to be in. As you approach him, he takes notice. As you're walking up the gangplank, all of you kind of allotted together, along with Wraith.
It's like a salute. Is it like this?
What's that?
The salute? Is it this or that? I don't know.
Yeah, it was just like a normal type of deal. Yeah.
Is it an incline on the gangplank?
What's
Is
that?
it an incline on the gangplank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can feel the weight pulling you back a little bit. Moldrex.
I'll keep you like parallel to the, or able to walk up. I'm not going to support it for you.
Captain Fletcher,
Keepers of Zaxria, as I live and breathe.
Hello.
we were told to find you when we were ready.
We're ready.
The day is nearly upon us.
Okay. Oh, well.
All is going well. 20 fully outfitted and battle-ready galleons, all with new navigation hubs, fully reinforced steel naval rams, along with steel plating along the hull and weak points on the outside. Each ship has at least half a dozen ballistas, each, and 40 men ready to man each one. Some of them may not have any hair on their chests, but I promise you the sea will shape them into men.
Andrew does.
A soldier approaches, holding a note. He hands it to Fletcher before running back. He kind of opens it and looks, puts it at his side. Yeah, I apologize, keepers, but I'm needed elsewhere. We leave in a few days' time at any moment. When we are ready, you will be informed immediately. I do have some urgent matters to attend to.
Great.
If you have questions, Haverdash should be around here somewhere. I haven't seen him in nearly 2 weeks, but I assume it's just that he's as busy as I. If you see him, send him my way. Also, Captain, if you would like a ship of your own for you and yours, you're more than welcome to, but you're also welcome to the leisure of the sea on my galleon.
Probably number 2.
Aye, we'll make arrangements. I'll make room for 7 more on the ship. We'll be sure that there are quarters for you, and everything will be well taken care of. All the food has been supplied on all of the ships for at least 2 months' travel. We're anticipating about 3 weeks before we reach at least the Sea of Souls.
Got it.
Once we reach the Sea of Souls, there's no telling how long it'll be,
Okay.
other than the directions you had given us, but we'll see how things go.
Directions. Barely.
Our galleon will lead the charge,
Alright.
and to have you on it will be an honor. I would say that we could be ready by tomorrow.
Keep us informed. We're ready at any moment.
I recommend just sleeping below deck. I'm recommending all the other troops do the same. They stay to their ships. Each one of them has an admiral, all under my command. I trust every single one of them.
Alright. Well, that's cool.
All right. For the time being, he just gives a nod. Now you stand aboard this galleon. People are making their way past you quickly with crates. You can see that there are ballistas mounted onto the actual ship deck. They don't seem to be on like wheels or anything. They're actually fastened and secured to the deck itself, and they rotate on the top. They're quite large. They're similar to the ballistas that are on the Citadel of Sand and the watchtowers that are there. What would you guys like to do?
Want to go under the deck and look at the sort of navigation.
Oh yeah, I would want to check that out
Like
too.
my navigator went straight to that. That's what I like to see. It's a good navigator.
Okay. Once you make your way down and look at the hub, you can see that there's almost an additional, like an additional hull that's built onto the keel of the boat. It's like this large. There's a set of stairs from like the lower deck that lead to another lowered area, but this area has like these large steel frame on the sides, and then the entire part of the bottom is just this thick glass. The glass itself is like almost opaque to where you can't really see through it. Everything's like blurred and distorted on the other side. You can see the water. There's like kind of blurs of fish, but in the center of it there's just this table that has a compass sitting in the center, along with like a map that's on top of that. It looks like it would do pretty well. You can see down there actually in this main galleon, Karina, as she's like looking and inspecting things, she's kind of poking up at the seam itself. Well, that looks like it'll hold.
Sure does.
She kind of Connor! She reaches over and gives you a hug. Keepers?
Oh,
Good to see you.
Came thinking we were leaving today, and I guess tomorrow?
Fletcher was kind of waiting for the okay, but I think I've inspected everything well enough. I think we could leave tonight, but I don't think he wants to leave tonight. We were just a little bit behind, is all.
Said we. Are you going as well?
I was thinking about it, but Alton had made a good point that we don't need any more than one council member away, so I'll be staying behind.
I would rather have you stay in the city too. Okay, things get really dangerous out on sea.
I don't think I can handle myself. You know, I taught you quite a bit of what you know. She kind of gets like a little.
Well,
Oh,
there's a lot of a lot more things out there than what we went through.
There's like big lightning fishes out there.
He's like struggling to keep it like this big.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be at sea for several months anyhow, so you have fun out there.
Kinda get it.
That's like the fun of it.
Can't wait to hear the stories about it when you get back of how much it sucks.
I figured you guys
don't
didn't.
mind.
I figured you guys didn't want to sell.
I didn't
another
like
ship,
it. I didn't
so-
like it at first, but I kind of like it now.
I also would rather not have to man the ship anymore.
Yeah, I figured that's why I call him on his.
And I'm also not navigating the ship.
Not at this one. At one point, maybe. Yeah, I do need a navigator at some point, probably. Same.
Your job.
Are we just taking any one of these bunks down here?
I don't know, actually. We should probably ask the admiral.
I'm sure you guys can sit wherever. Nobody's
wear
really
that
claimed
this whole
anything
time?
yet,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I didn't even notice.
it's like a foot long off each side. The gun itself is probably close to about 5.5, maybe 6 feet long.
okay, you guys just
It's about this wide.
Did you guys bring a cannon with you? Is that what that is?
Turns a little bit, and
kinda
you
like
can see
cannon, yeah.
about the size of that Sprite can, a bullet that's sitting on the side of the backpack.
I'll go put this down somewhere.
Yeah, you look pretty. You want me to carry it somewhere and set it
I'm
down?
good, I'm good.
Alright.
It'd be easy to like keep things like in a bag.
Yeah, not really, because he needs them. Maybe for now, but
You can probably just put it on the ground, like by one of the bunks.
You have to make your way back up the steps to get to the bunks.
Oh.
Make an athletics check for me. You're starting to realize that it's going to be very difficult to haul this gun around.
6.
Yeah, you fall straight back. There's a loud
Broke it, and all the things blow up.
Fuck!
Nothing seems to be broken.
You okay?
I'm gonna come over and like help him up.
Yeah. Moldrek helps you up.
You hurt or anything?
I'm
The
good.
gun is very heavy.
Dust him off. You want me to carry this to somewhere?
Sure.
It is pretty heavy.
That's kind of heavy.
Alright, let's go
It's
find
got some weight.
Yeah, let's go find like a bunk or something.
Yeah, your shoulders and your neck are all
Maybe
cranked up.
maybe like a strap across the backpack chest or like a waistband so that you have more support.
Maybe.
Are Zarvax in there as with us?
Yep.
I don't know, you're the inventor.
Or sitting down there probably just...
Yeah, at this point, you guys are all up, kind of sitting around the bunks. You guys have got some that are
Well, I
close
was gonna
together.
say something before we...
Oh, okay.
You think this idea will work? Like the glass under the compass? Just one
Yes.
out of us, like...
Oh! That's okay, I can wait until we're sitting
So-
around in this room.
I have faith.
Okay. So, we're not 100% sure, but...
Karina's just sitting there like this. Everything okay?
Yeah. We're just wondering things. Just
Alright.
things.
Well,
Stuff.
all should go well. We've been working very hard at this for the last 2 months now, and I'm assuming that all will be well. If you have any concerns, please bring them up with me. And she like turns around and flips her hair as she walks up the steps.
I didn't mean anything by that, by the way.
The seam on that's looking a little rough.
She's already gone. You don't
This
need to.
design kind of sucks, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it. I was. Yeah.
I mean, we don't know until we try anyways. But maybe let's not put any doubt.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We'll suck if we just like sail into the Sea of Souls and it's like the compasses don't work and then we're stuck there forever and we can never get out.
Probably still have the original somewhere.
I don't think we'd be stuck.
And if so, we can just toss you in the water and then you can tell us where we're going.
Why me though?
You're the captain.
The captain would be the last person to go in the water.
Well,
the captain
but,
goes
but
down
you're
with
not
the
the
ship.
captain of this ship, so.
I'm captain like
The second,
two. I'm
the second captain always gets thrown in the water. Everybody knows that.
Is that a real? That's a real thing.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read it in a book one time.
It's in a book. That's a weird thing that they wrote about this.
Yeah.
The Sea of Souls.
It's
There's two captains.
It's the two captains in a ship. That's what happens. There can only be one in the ship at
Wait,
one
is he
time.
just gonna throw me in the water anyway?
You can hear interrupting quick footsteps, like heavy footfalls that are coming down the steps quickly. They make their way down to where they immediately, the ones that he would see first would be Moldrak and Azrael. Captain Fletcher makes his way back in. We've just got the okay. We're good to go.
All right.
Hey, fucking dudes.
Yeah, he's ready to go, man.
We're leaving now.
We sure are.
Oh hell yeah.
One of the admirals on the other ships was concerned with some things, but Karina's on her way to take a look, and once she's done seeing to it, we'll be good to go. So, I'm having everyone get to their ships, and on the horn we will take off.
We're on this ship?
You are on this ship.
We're on the right.
Pick some bunks, and
Yeah, these ones seem to be
we'll
okay.
go from there.
You're not gonna throw me in the water, right?
Why would I do that?
It's two captains in one boat book. I didn't read it.
It's a great book. He makes his way up.
He's read the book too. He knows the
You better be on your best behavior, Ender.
You know where a captain always goes, right?
What?
Down with his ship.
Yeah, but
Then he makes his way up the
See?
steps.
I'm not crazy.
I know that one, but I didn't know the second captain goes off the ship.
Yeah, if it is necessary. If
Not
it's
even like the
necessary.
second guy, it's the first guy off the ship.
Yeah.
Alright. At this point, you guys are all like in the bunk area of the ship, getting ready to make your way, hopefully, to the Sea of Souls. Once you get up to the upper deck,
Oh yeah, I want to watch this take.
you can see that there are all of these galleons kind of lined up. Fletcher just kind of does like a quick as he does like the slight horn. You watch him go up, and then the two ships to the side of him take a couple paces up, and then the ones go kind of behind that. There's like this large canal down the center of where the docks are. Like the ships come in and they just kind of dock to the sides. So you can watch as he's pulling off, the ships are just kind of slowly following in 2 by 2 to make their way out. It gets to a point where you actually break out of the gates. You can see that there are people up at the top, about 4 on each one of these, and they're just like kind of cranking as these gates start to like push themselves open. Water's like splashing and flooding out a little bit because of just like the level and the grade. It kind of splashes out into the water. And then when you get into the ship and you go out of here, you can feel it kind of dip a little bit before you get out into the water. Once you get out here, the front of the ship, like the bow, is facing west, kind of northwest a little bit, and then all the other ships are kind of in this like half circle around it. He walks to the stern and looks back out at all of the ships, you guys kind of standing behind him. Soldiers and sailors alike, you are of the Golden Navy, in the company of keepers, the absolute presence of greatness, and we are on the cusp of it. What awaits us out at sea is dangerous, deadly even. Some of you may not make it back here, but your story will live on. I promise you that whatever we run into, I will face it first head on. Whether it be pirates or monsters, They will face my sword before they face yours. Now I ask you, are you ready for the glory of Southbrook? He lifts up his sword. Then you hear, for the glory of Southbrook! Everybody starts screaming and lifting their swords up. And then he takes and starts like hitting the rail on the boat, and there's just this like kind of like thud to it.
I'll break it.
And he keeps doing it. And then you hear it starting to ring out over all of the other galleons. He just turns around silently, gives a nod, and then walks to you. Not too bad for an old man. Gets to the helm of it and puts his hand on it before he does like a quick half spin to it, catches it again, and the ship starts to take off. And then you watch the half circle, the ones on the outside start to come in, and then they all start to just slowly form to where you're now in this one long straight line of 20 or so ships. Heading westward, you can see the sun is just above and setting out towards the Sea of Souls. And even from where you are, you can see in the very, very faint distance just that dimness of where the Sea of Souls is, where there's that kind of darkness and that constant cloud and perpetual overcast that you're heading towards, where you have faced several sea monsters and ghosts and other things within the sea itself, only to see what may be ahead of you next week. Thank you for tuning in. That's where we're going to pick it up next week. If you are watching, please be sure to follow so you can put in a giveaway at 100 followers. You can get a copy to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. If you are subscribing to the channel, you can get a custom mini from Hero Forge. Also be sure to check out the YouTube. There are VODs all the way up till episode 69 and podcasts along with other D&D adventures and a cyberpunk little one-shot. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe. See you next week.